Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition homebrew Dungeons & Dragons game. I'm Joe Truff, your Dungeon Master. I am joined by Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. It's hard because I can't see the monitor, so it's very confusing. I like it. I like not being able to see it.
Yeah,
it's
don't
just,
look at it.
It's good. No, I shouldn't be watching at it. So thank you guys very much for joining us. But before we get into stuff for tonight, and hello, Talon. A couple things to get into. Actually, first of all, Talon, thank you very much for your continued support. We have a couple of cool things that are going to be happening with our stream. So we have now channel points is like a new thing that Twitch is coming out with. Matt is doing some art for us, but our channel points are going to be the gold pieces that you get in Alberon. So they're going to be golden dragons, cool shape, and all that kind of stuff. So that's really exciting, and that's going to be coming sometime probably like next week-ish, something like that. Also, as you guys donate bits, one of the things that can be really helpful for keeping the stream going and paying for all the different stuff that goes into running a game like this, there are titles that you're unlocking as you do so. So Talon, for instance, next to your name, you will notice that there's a badge that says Peeboo, because you have the highest rank currently. You are Peeboo. The next one I think is 5,000. That's Big Peeboo.
Does it like fill up from bottom to top kind of thing?
Yes. So as you go up, I believe the top one is 5 million.
Whoa.
And
Jeez.
that is you are a honorary member of the Finger Gang.
Shit.
The first, I think if you have one, you're just like an adventurer.
So you're Frank. Frank's the skull.
There is no Frank the Skull. A supporter, yeah,
There
supporter.
should be one Frank the Skull anyway. There should be a Frank
There is Gunter's Gang. There is the Mud Brotherhood. There is the Zinni Monastery. There is the Portent. So everybody has some kind of a lore-based tie-in. Cool. So that exists. That's cool. There's going to be some rewards coming for the channel points, but I'll have more details as we go. Speaking of rewards, as the gift for the players, I give it to them before the stream. Where is it? It's right here. Right here from 3D Makerworks, we have a 3D printed custom dice tower. So this is like super cool. You can see on the inside, you drop the dice, they come down here, much like.
Oh shit!
So look at that live demonstration with dicey encounters. What is that? Oh, it's a 3.
Yeah,
like that.
please more.
But super cool. It was painted, flocked, and created by a local artist, made by 3D Makerworks. Super, super cool. And it represents a real world a real location within the world of Alberon.
Nice.
Am I going to crush anything if I put it
No,
on?
you're good.
You're good.
Straight
Smooth
down.
sailings. Beautiful. Look at that.
And you guys can't see it. There's a nice little forest scene in front. We'll post it on Instagram. That's more seasonal for us.
Yay.
Thank you, Talon, very much for the bits. Appreciate that. Talon said he needs to work his way up to Big Peeboo, which is you created actually as a thing when you misheard Peeboo. Big people as Peeboo.
True.
So all that stuff, super cool. Thank you, Talon, and everybody else for the continued support. Another cool thing to announce, we have the Alberon World Material stuff that's coming out this week, was the Assembled Soul. So that was the very first thing that you guys fought, is released now on our website. You can download it as a PDF, has some lore information. It has an optional loot table. It has a whole bunch of cool stuff that goes with it. So check that out. That's free. And then finally, I think that's it. Oh, Sirenscape. It just went quiet.
Always.
But when you do hear the music, that is from Sirenscape. There it is.
Woohoo!
So with that, we can jump into the recap from last week. So, after receiving a prophecy from Vera With, you all traveled southeast to the far shores of the Sunrest Islands. You guys battled pirates and the Cretago, legendary creatures of dwarven myth made real.
Grotega.
You survived the trials of court, together battling and defeating a large celestial being. You made your way to the very heart of Sunrest, losing a friend and failing to stop the activation of the Pillar of Scales. After that, you returned to Port Quinn, the place where your adventure began, the hometown of Heinrich. You began preparations for a more long-term base, coming up with a couple different designs for the Cold Harp, ways to perhaps create a little bit more storage room. Tom, at some point today, went and talked to some people about that, so you'd imagine that's getting underway. You also learned that there is an increased tolerance for dwarves within Port Quinn, partially as a result of all of your actions. Removing Twee from the city council by way of killing him,
Well, yeah.
and clearing the way for Gilda Breakstone to take his place. And it appears that she has begun making changes that seem to be easing tensions between the refugee dwarves from Kul Tiran and the native population of Port Quinn. Gunter, you had a very emotional evening, getting beat up by somebody possibly friends with Shay, probably not.
One of Shay's friends.
Being dragged around from location to location, shut up repeatedly, and then not allowed to go forward with your own observations. You did attempt to negotiate by stealing and holding one piece of key information, which was stolen from you and then given back to Shay. Morwen, you went to the house of Rhodesia, somebody who you guys had met very early in the campaign, discovering that Ezra, the girl who you left your store to, the 17-year-old girl, had dissolved your partnership but left you with a parting gift. A very nice set of glamored studded leather armor, which you immediately used inappropriately. Because, of course. Shay, you learned that there was a dire message left within Port Quinn. A single word saying danger. That, combined with the note that you got from Gunter, obtained very peacefully.
Stole.
You can imagine that there is some kind of a coming war. A reference to a divided people. Heinrich, towards the end of the evening, you found yourself drawn after leaving the group that you had so carefully assembled to Helm's Temple, your feet carrying you through the familiar streets of Port Quinn. You found your way into the temple itself, along with Morwen and Shay, who could not see especially well, but found that there were remnants of Azra within this temple. Defeating it after substantial help from Morwen, and actually a lot of help from Shay, just swinging wildly in the dark.
Swinging a stick.
Yeah, swinging a stick around in the dark.
Yep.
But you know what, monks?
Don't discount it.
No.
You discovered that within yourself, that lingering presence of Azra gone, and something new in its place.
A sweet black eye.
You do have your right eye entirely black, no longer the gold shade that it was. However, you are also now a celestial warlock and have the powers and boons associated with it. However, not terribly clear who your patron is.
Yeah.
That being
Working on
said,
it.
the three of you are currently within the street, holding a very wounded guard who has since magically been healed, still missing a leg. But we're going to start with Gunter. So Gunter, let me pull some stuff up here real quick. You, having been pushed around a little bit, decided to finally make your way to the Fistall.
I guess back, right? It's all the
Correct.
same evening.
As you
Going
approach,
back.
though, the door is shut, but you can hear even through that. It is loud, a lot louder than you last left it. What would you like to do?
I think I'm gonna head on back in. Noise never stopped me before.
Okay.
Truer words.
Fair. You open the doors. Give me 1 second here. It is a lot louder. You notice it's crowded. Whereas before, a couple of the tables were occupied, there is not a single seat available in the house, except for one. At a table, a little bit down, kind of towards the other end of the bar, you can see there are three dwarves. Stand out a little bit. They're all in armor. One older, white hair that's kind of back and braided. Very, not wrinkly face. You can tell that she's old. She's probably somewhere in the middle of her second century. But there with two fairly similar looking dwarves, you can tell as a dwarf yourself, they're all from Kul Tiran. Similar dark hair, that weird artificial tan that comes from being around those rivers of lava. You also see that, probably not terribly surprisingly, given the amount that you guys drank, Gimgam no longer present amongst the people within this bar. However, it is quite crowded. There is one seat available at that table. Aside from that, it is packed.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna go grab a drink and sidle on up to that chair that's available.
Okay.
Settle up next to the chair,
Just like
but
sit
not
on the floor
it.
next to it, put your arm on it.
You
Hey
come here
there, buddy.
often.
I'm taking this chair.
You go and grab your drink without too much trouble. You would notice also, as you approach, the bartender, who is the same one from before, sees you and kind of nods and slides a drink down.
Oh, nice.
Does not collect payment from you.
Ooh, I got myself a tad going now. I bet they're gonna come break my kneecaps.
Add another pursuer to our
Aw.
list.
I'm gonna like lift it up and be like,
Okay. The bartender nods, already kind of going down the line. It's busy, so he's just moving
Yeah.
on. But you have yourself a free beer. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna head on over to the spot that's available and be like, mind if I sit here?
Should
And
we-
then I'm not even gonna wait for an answer. I'm just gonna sit.
As you sit down, the woman who, you can see they turn to her, like she's clearly in charge, just looks down with a little bit of a smile. Well, if it's open, of course it's free.
Thank you.
Please, grab a seat. You're a bit of an odd one. Where are you from, yeah?
I'm from around, you know. You're from Calderon, eh?
Yes.
A lot of people coming from there.
Well, we've had a little bit of trouble. It hasn't been very peaceful there. But enough about me. It's a little bit more interesting knowing where you're from. I haven't seen many of you around.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, but not respectfully, of course, not your people.
Well,
It's a shame what happened to them.
yeah, well, it is really, but, I'm over it. It's a new age.
I guess that's a nice way of looking at it.
I'm over it.
My people are decimated.
I
Whatever.
can't say I share a similar sentiment. I'm here on behalf of my own people, and we're really hoping that we can take Holteron back at some point. But right now, been working especially hard bridging the relationship here. Gilda Breakstone, by the way, she offers a hand to
Her
you.
name's Gunter.
She shakes a surprisingly strong grip, and especially older woman. Yeah, I know who you are. You're the
what?
one. You were part of that finger gang, yeah? You came through and took care of old Dr. Twee Lightfoot.
Well, I don't mean to brag, but yes, I was that one who did the things.
The other two are kind of like nodding now, and whereas before they seemed a little bit tense, they seem to be relaxing a little bit.
Yep, I'm pretty badass.
Oh, well, for sure. I can imagine. I heard there was all kinds of creepy clockwork things down there, don't you know?
Yeah, that was
Don't you know?
That was-
Don't you know?
not a big deal, you know.
Now,
Done some bigger things.
if you were looking for work, there's plenty to be had up north, let me tell you.
What kind of work are we talking?
Oh, well.
Scams, schemes?
Well, a little bit more on the up and up side, you know?
Oh,
We're
okay.
trying to really make ourselves a bit of a home here. But up north, there is all kinds of goblin raids going on. If you're headed in that direction and you happen to catch yourselves a couple goblins, give me 1 second here. I can give you 2 silver per year if you're willing to take them. And if you can find out where they're all coming from now, don't you think I could get you something extra?
2 silver per year. That's pretty low. I make that in like a minute.
Well, then this maybe isn't the job for you then, is it? But
Probably not. 2 silver per year. How much? That's like you can't even buy a drink with that. 1 drink a year.
roll a persuasion check.
Constant drinks always.
That's a persuasion.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Okay. For
Okay.
one of the heroes of Port Quinn, maybe something a little bit more advanced is your nature. To the south, there is some bandit problems that we've been having. Worse than usual.
Worse than bandits.
Well, the Port Quinn Town Guard, they sent a whole group of people to go and escort some people through, and they've been gone for almost a week now. But they're paying almost 2,000 gold for whoever can track down what they sent.
2,000 gold, huh?
Well, I think it was some kind of a magical weapon being delivered to the front lines at Thousand Gates.
Tell me more about this.
I would, but I think that's kind of all I know.
All right, well, I'll get back to you. 2,000 gold. Yeah?
Well, I'm not the one that's paying it, but go talk to the Red Shields. They're the one that lost
Red
the caravan.
Shields. Red Shields. Oh. Do I know about
You're
the
not-
Red Shields?
Through my interactions,
I go.
I feel like you would have been
Gunther
leaves.
visibly goes, Red Shield.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely not from around here. The Red Shields, if you head up to the northwest of the town, just past the main gate.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Northwest. Got it.
But it would be a big help if you could look in either direction, really. Would be very helpful. There's a lot of problems getting things to and from the port now.
Because the bandits.
Well, the bandits, and there's been dragons, and there's been all kinds of bad things.
Yeah,
You know.
dragons.
There was trolls the other day.
Trolls.
Yeah, I caught them up north on the expansion road.
Alright. Well, I'll maybe get on that eventually, but 2,000 gold. Yeah. Alright. See ya.
All right, have a great day now.
And you down the beer,
Sure.
and I'm gonna like give a wave to the bartender,
Okay.
and I'm heading out. I'm on the move.
Okay. You wave to the bartender. He gives you a wave back, and as he's turning, you make your way out into the cold night air.
Alright.
It is about this time, so that's happening concurrent with all of your battle that was happening last session.
Right.
So, taking it back to you guys now. Let me change this music a little bit here.
I know I've got some drunk notes somewhere about this.
So you guys,
You know what's coming.
Oh, yeah, do it. You have to. It only makes sense.
I just have
You
to
were
find
all
which one.
Now
out.
you'll know how it feels.
in the main thoroughfare, you would know this is Castle March, the main road.
Yeah.
So Heinrich, Shay, and Morwen, you guys are off the side. It is fairly dark enough so that, Shay, you're having a little trouble seeing, especially with the clouds that have now come and snow beginning to steadily fall. It's difficult to see, but every now and then moonlight filters through gaps in the clouds. It's not too bad. You guys, in front of you, breathing very heavily and groping the now healed but still very fresh stump of his leg. There is one of the Port Quinn town guards. You can see there's still like shreds of leather that are kind of torn away, although the skin is healed underneath. You can see like dried blood still on it. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm just shouting like help for the guards, kind of just like help.
Okay. As you shout, this other guard, kind of, you see around one of the corner first this sort of orange light take on the sides of the building and then the road, and then suddenly a torch appears. A guard carrying it kind of waves it out, and you can see snow falling in front of him, sort of holds it up, and you can now see a little bit better. This other guard, the first guard that is now by you, kind of looks up and just goes, Brady! And the other one with the torch now kind of holds it forward and just goes, Gilchrist, by the six, what happened to you? And he runs up and kneels down. And kind of looking, you can see Gilchrist just says, it's all right, lad, they were right to keep you away. It was too dangerous for you. If it wasn't for these folks and the cat lady, it's been a long night. We need to get to the council. He looks at all of you.
Tell them that the temple's been cleared, but there's more bodies, and I feel we need to.
I mean, you could just tell me right now.
Yeah.
And Gilchrist kind of turns and just says, can you escort them or one of them? And can one of you help me?
Wait, help them get the dude back.
Yeah.
And the other people go up.
In a moment.
Yeah.
And I walk over to Heinrich and just open fist to the
You can see the guard like puts his hand on the what's it called, hilt of his
No.
sword.
No,
face. Are we done?
I deserve that.
Oh,
I deserve that.
all right.
Now both of your eyes are matching.
And the guy on the ground says, I don't know what
I'm
this
gonna
is, but
don't
can we...
Walk over and help the guy.
Okay. You get underneath and you just scoop him up.
And I'm just like holding my nose still because I guess I'll lead the other dude back. I'm like, Shay, I'm. God, how the fuck. I'm sorry about earlier.
And as Shay is like walking him by, he turns and just says, you can heal yourself, right? And he's kind of like
yeah,
limping by.
Yeah, but I don't. I deserve this. I apologize. Well, yeah.
And you could just hear
Go
like,
help and
the
we'll
crunch of the
collect
snow as
later.
Shay is now walking
Yeah.
him away towards the
Yep,
keep.
later. We'll meet up later.
The other guard now
Yeah.
remains still kind of like holding the torch after them for a little bit, but then turns it back. What happened?
There was beasts of some kind that had
Man-eating
taken...
slugs.
And I kind of defer with the hand.
And I killed them.
You hear like the as he holds the torch up and just kind of looks at you. His hand is like permanently on his sword now.
She's okay. She's absolutely fine, and she's also correct. There were these beasts, these slugs they'd taken hold in the temple since it's been abandoned, and were eating the corpses left in there.
This sounds a little bit above my pay grade. Why don't we go? Lord Hightaker is awake.
Okay, sure,
Let's talk to him.
sure.
Sh-
She can come. We know Lord Hightaker. We've actually done work for him. in
Oh
the
yeah,
past.
he's my boy.
We helped with the.
He's very unnerved by this like black tabaxi that has already hissed at him.
Hold
He's
on.
never seen a
Do
tabaxi
do
before.
something with your new toy that makes him feel more at ease. Do something funny.
Face on your shirt.
Or not. She has some really cool tricks. They're funny.
Just
Wait,
Don't worry
what's
about
that trick with it?
ta-da.
What? No, what's
The
that?
thumb.
The thumb thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. See?
Roll performance
Magic.
check.
I forgot how to do it too. I was
You were like,
you see?
Well,
Now they're
Allie forgot, but
disconnected.
maybe Morwen didn't forget.
Performance? Yes, sir. Do, 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 do.
just don't.
It is a 26.
Okay. You're gonna pop it off, and it does.
Magic.
He just goes. Put it back on. Put it back on. All right.
Medic!
This is a strange group. Let's go. And he just
You have no idea. But yes,
turns
let's
and
go.
begins leading
Let's
you
go.
guys off. You guys progress down Castle March, passing by a couple of different stores. Nothing has changed terribly. You would notice the family in which you had given some money to previously has redone the front of their store. New glass. Very
I
much the
saved
same
a
on the
life.
inside. Sure. But they've done a little bit of work on the shop. So you guys progress, winding up through the castle district, through the larger houses on the right, sort of a cliff face that goes up into the residential district and the District of Lords where you guys were coming from. But you make your way up and towards the ivy-covered castle known as the Green Keep because of how overgrown it is. With the guard, you guys make your way straight through the front doors into that large, long hallway with ornate tapestries and suits of armor, but straight through the large front doors and into the chambers that you would remember as the council chambers previously. Fairly similar, the table with 5 chairs, although the small one that you would imagine Twee had used has been replaced with a much stouter dwarven-style stool. Also, this cavernous expanse, which ceilings are about 65 feet high. It's like 3 stories in this chamber. Very ostentatious, and lends the height to this structure, which, now that you're thinking about it, has kind of been artificially heightened by this room to make it the highest by 1 floor structure over the bank. However, it is now almost floor to ceiling in certain places, stacked with boxes. There are barrels, and some of it looks like it contains different food products. It appears to be being stockpiled perhaps for the winter now that it's starting to get into that season. But amidst this sort of haphazard collection of different materials, you can see dressed in very silken sort of almost pajamas as if he's getting ready for bed, Lord Hightaker.
He's got one of those floppy hats with like the pom-pom on the end of it.
Not like a floppy hat, but his
Sleepy
long
Gary.
hair, which is normally very, very finely kind of coiffed and teased in the back, is like kind of like long and down one side. He's not a tall guy. He's like 5'8", but he's there at the table. He looks around and hello to everybody who just joined. Thanks, Campfire Quest, for joining in. And he just looks around and says, the Finger Gang.
Ah, yes, our name precedes us now.
He just waves and
unfortunately.
the guard nods and backs out of the door. The doors close. You guys are now alone in this chamber, the 3 of you, with Lord Hightaker in his bedclothes, it seems.
Ew.
3 including just
The guard's
the-
backed out, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
okay.
3 of you. Well, I have heard that you have taken care of one of our problems.
Yes, the Temple of Helm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I'm afraid the town guard is not quite cut out for something that is so aggressive.
Yeah.
We had called for help, and we have somebody coming tomorrow. The Church of the Six is sending a harbinger, so they were going to take care of it. However, and he reaches behind the table and pulls out large leather pouch and lays it on the table, and it's full of coins. Opens a little bit, and you can see roughly 500 gold pieces within there. This was meant for him, but you have done the job, so the payment should be yours.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
You can add 500 gold to your inventory.
Yeah, we'll disperse it later.
But I was very pleased to
Don't
hear of
believe
your
that.
arrival. We've had a terrible time recently.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you are in line for some work.
Well, I should really be consulting with the rest of the group, but if there are things that we should know about what has changed since we were last here, I feel that at least, yes, we should hear about it.
Well, dragons have been reintroduced to the world. So,
Yes, we were unfortunately there at least one of the moments.
Well, up north, I've heard that whatever was taking place within Colteron, absolutely terrible. Whatever has happened seems to have become even worse. I've heard from the north, underneath the Strangling Straits, dragon turtles are back in the world, which I didn't even think had ever begun. Have it
ever been?
Existed in the first
been
place.
there at all?
There has been talk of lizard folk rising up in the west. More trouble, perhaps, though, would have stopped the daily assaults on 1,000 gates, which is a boon that the entire kingdom is currently counting its blessings on.
Sure.
But beyond even that, where do I even begin? Bandits to the south, goblins and kobolds to the north. Not the kobolds that we
Kobolds?
have. Yes, you've seen them before.
Sure have.
Well, we do have some that live beneath in the sewers, and those they do come out at night and they will
yes.
scavenge for. You're from Port Gwyn,
Oh yeah.
so you know.
Oh yes. And
But I don't. Keep going.
Okay.
Well, they're these little dragon-like creatures, and they're emboldened for some reason. They've been working with the goblins, which is never a good sign.
Oh, they're just misunderstood.
Well, it would point to a stronger individual, perhaps, taking charge up north.
I'll get it. Don't need a bag. I'll do it.
Oh, well, if
Well,
you
no,
could-
I don't know. No, I can't commit. What's the rest? Tell me the rest.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because we could really use some help. with
Yeah,
that.
maybe. We'll pin it for later.
He kind of gestures around.
Kind of pinning all of these
our,
things.
all of our
We're
stuff
We're
is
jotting down
currently
all the
stockpiled,
side
so-
quests.
Yeah.
Come on.
Got all my quest
We gotta
board
get all the,
sticking.
Yeah. Gotta get all the options.
In terms of some other things, in kingdom-wide, they're calling for aid at 1,000 Gates. Take your pick. There's much danger in the world at present.
As much as I would like to head to Thousand Gates, I do know that our present heading was farther north, at least, with Shay
I will be
urging us
returning-
there.
I will be returning north.
Yeah, exactly. And that echoes in my head, and I relay that again to you. Be like, that's kind of where we were heading. So maybe you said the goblins and the kobolds were up north. That was the
The goblins, kobolds, or perhaps something worse. It's
Sure.
a gathering, almost a war host, it seems.
right. But that was up to the north,
Correct.
as well as the dragon turtle, which kind of scares
More
me.
than one, it
I think that
seems.
sounds adorable.
They're
Well-
very large.
Doesn't mean it's not cute.
Bedtime stories of floating islands and stuff. I think
It's
they're
enough that Stoneflow has stopped sending ships down here.
right.
So, hurting us a bit in the resource department. We don't have any real source of raw material that we get from Stoneflow, so you will find that blacksmith prices are quite steep right now. Speaking of which, not quite sure where you're headed up north.
I don't think we are either.
We have no idea.
Well,
We're following a friend who, one of our members is
perhaps
urging us back up there.
if you stick around for I think till sometime tomorrow. It's unclear when this fellow is supposed to arrive. The Harbinger is arriving either by magical means or on foot, but I imagine he is returning by magical means. If you need to get somewhere, he can probably bring you fairly quickly, depending on where it is.
He's coming from the south, from the west,
I
north?
haven't the focused.
Okay. He's arriving tomorrow, though.
Yes, the church isn't very direct in its communication. So he's supposed to be here this week.
Okay.
And I'm assuming it's a he.
Between 5 and 8.
Yeah, it's Miles.
Like
this is a little
cable
bit like,
hours.
This is like a Comcast delivery window.
Yeah. All right.
But like in olden times, so like the range is a little wider.
Sure, yeah.
That
And that is
being
then
said-
even further widened by it being like medieval cable.
That being said, if you are in a rush, please do let me know, and I can get you some kind of a discount from the Red Shields, and perhaps get you on your way just a bit quicker. You have helped quite a bit in Port Quinn.
Well, it's my home after all, so I wouldn't not help if I could, and I definitely can, it seems. Well, all of this is very good information. Again, sorry it was so late that we disturbed, but it was just too important not to at least let you know that immediate threat within your walls was dealt with.
He gazes around at all of these things like stacked up. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep recently, to be honest, so not really disturbing. I'm working quite a bit.
Yeah, I can. Well, if you're moving all this yourself, I can imagine.
Not myself, I have help, but
Okay, well, that's good.
one of the things that I am very passionate about is if I'm going to be in charge, lead by example.
That is incredibly admirable, and I would absolutely, very impressive.
I think
Just
you would
gave him
like
a
Gilda,
thumbs
by
up.
the way, the person who took Twee's place.
Oh, is that
Gilda Breakstone? She is a more senior dwarf who has quite an illustrious combat career. And if you are heading up north, she may have work for you, or she has sent people out that way. She's been helping out quite a bit, her and some of her dwarven compatriots from Colteron, keeping the roads between them safe. I think her intent is eventually to move back up north. But she could actually fill you in on events up there. They're even worse than up down here, I believe.
Oh, well, good that we're heading that way. And again, Gilda?
Pardon me?
Gilda, her name was Gilda?
Gilda Breakstone.
Okay, good to know. Where would I find her? Is she staying within the castle or the keep? Or?
Oh no, she has a residence within the I think we're calling it New Colteron now.
Okay.
The Dwarven Quarter.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm all for this nice equality between all, what with, me and not being, well, never mind. Anyways.
His eyes keep like flicking up to your horns.
Yeah, I'm just trying to not.
Speak for yourself. That guy gave me a nasty look.
Gotta talk to your guard.
Which?
That's I don't know.
Brady?
I don't know, I got nasty looks from one of them.
But then she did this really cool thing with her finger, and I don't even know how she
You
did
know
it.
why they call us the finger gang?
I was afraid to ask. That's lovely.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful treat.
But I'll let that be the reason, I suppose. It's better than the real one. Unless there was any more of the pressing changes, unfortunate as they
I
may
don't
be.
know if there's any more information that you're looking for, but
At this moment, I think it would be best if we met back up with our third, who was helping the unfortunate, still alive guard that was being attacked.
And thank you very much for that as well. I'm sure we should probably see to him in some way. I don't imagine he'll be working again. We'll figure something out for him.
Yeah, and there are lots of... I mean, I don't know if you have a cleanup crew or anything, but I think that there are a lot of bodies that need to be put to rest.
We have
stinks.
day laborers for that.
Okay.
It smells
find
really bad
something.
in
Yeah.
there.
We'll increase the employment level within Port Quinn by hiring some of the less fortunate to do some of the work that maybe is a bit less desirable.
Wonderful, I guess. If it helps them, I suppose.
It's good for the economy.
I'll be like, okay, yes, we do have to go and reconvene, I think.
Of course. If you do need anything, please stop in. I will talk to Brady. I'm sorry that he
It's okay.
didn't treat you the best. I hope that is an indication of what Port Quinn has to offer.
Nah, just him.
Lovely. All of you have a lovely night.
You as well. Good luck with all of your storing and moving boxes. And
You kind of. Yes.
again, if we had, if we could spare the time,
You
We
all
would
seem
help.
very capable in your own right.
Correct.
And probably more useful elsewhere.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
I cannot do magic, and so it is not my.
The other two of us point to you.
Well, I mean, he genuinely believes with a 28. Yeah, he genuinely believes that you're doing like some kind of magic trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
But
It's like level 5 mending. All right.
have a lovely evening. Have a lovely evening.
Yes. I do like a little bow.
And he
as
returns
best
a
as I
gesture.
can.
I hug him.
Oh, and he kind of just he's not very tall, so he kind of has to scrunch his arms up and, oh, okay, and just sort of gives you a hug very awkwardly.
I let go.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm walking out.
He doesn't seem to like know what to do with his arms as you guys exit, walking out into the ornate hall and then out into the cold night.
Mhm.
Snow is falling a little bit harder now.
Would we have known where Shay went? Just to at least start that heading.
Shay, you would have brought him like into that hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would have been taken from you by other guards. So you are within the hallway when they exit.
Okay.
Some loitering in the hallway.
Shay.
Heinrich.
Mormon.
Mormon.
You hear
Well,
from outside.
It was north we were heading, correct?
Yes.
Troubling news, and I just fill you in about kobolds, goblins, someone possibly leading them into dragon turtles and all that stuff. So it might be a little bit rocky of a road than we had planned. The High Taker did mention that there might be ease of getting us up there in either the Red Shield company, which he could help us with, or some stranger who was coming to actually help fix the temple. But thank you again for helping me with that. I kind of like tentatively like thanks again. So we could maybe rest for the night and see what tomorrow brings in terms of ways north.
Point in rushing off in the dark.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Should we sleep on the boat?
I'm not sure.
Should we find?
We should at least go find Gunter. Yes. Yes. Where was he off to?
I have an idea.
Meanwhile, Gunter, where are you going?
Alley-oop.
How far away
Or what's it?
would
Kobe.
I
Yeah.
from
Kobe.
what
Kobe
Gilda said,
quest.
how far away would I suspect the Red Shield's like encampment? Are they in an encampment?
Based on what? Make a survival check.
Hadn't he been there? Who was there with me?
A look down.
It was just a look tag, and
I have
and
no
Shade, I
idea.
think.
That was a natural.
she wasn't. She was a
one.
She was.
special.
No, we didn't
Natural
pick her up until.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Based on the vague description, which is just northwest, you have no idea.
That's probably pretty close. It's 5.
5 miles away.
Yeah, probably pretty close.
Alright.
How far could it be? Borkwin's not a huge town.
Time to go get me some money. And I'm gonna start heading northwest of town. To go.
For what it's worth, I will say it is at this point, just so
Is
you
it-
know, about
how late?
8:30, 9
Okay.
p.m.
Time to go take a nap and then head northwest of town.
All right. So are you going back to the Cold Harp? Or where are you going for your...
Oh man.
There's
I
the
guess
ship, there's the Cold Harp.
and they don't house at the Fist Hall anymore.
They never.
They
Never
never
did.
did.
Oh.
Very
Doesn't
purposefully
mean you
never
can't
did.
sleep there. You can try.
Just go back and lay on the table the
You can
people you
try.
were sitting
You
with.
can
I need the money first before I want to do that. 'Cause I am going to need to spend the night there. But,
Where?
The Fist Hall.
Oh.
I wonder.
yeah, I guess I'll head back to the ship. Like, I'm going back to the ship.
Okay, so you're heading back to the ship. Where are the three of you headed?
For ease of, and tell me if this is a bad idea, but towards the Fist Hall and then possibly running into Gunter? Is that?
I mean, I want to try to find Gunter.
Yeah.
I would assume he's at the fist hall at least.
Right. That's like.
So
our
from where the
heading
Dwarven
now.
Quarter is, and from you guys, Dwarven Quarter's here.
It's
you guys
kind
are
of-
here.
Yeah, we're just
So
like west. Or
If you guys went down Castle March, eventually you guys would actually probably cross paths.
Okay.
So without too much trouble, if you want, you guys can meet up in that kind of bisecting area from the Market Road and in Castle March.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tend to the plants
Okay.
on the ship.
So as you head to go tend the plants, and as you
And
guys
before-
go,
then
Tend
I'm
the
gonna get a
plants.
nice early night sleep so I can head off northwest of town.
as you go to tend the plants, and as you guys go to find Gunter, you do meet up within the snowy crossroads of Castle March and the Market Road.
Hey, I got booty from Hightaker.
Just a big bag of gold.
I'm just like, keep walking.
Gunter.
I don't even.
Gunter.
Gunter.
I'm gonna make a point to catch up, and I grab. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about earlier. I need to apologize.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Well, again, I deserve that.
I'm grieving.
I should the money more.
Ooh, I'm gonna snag it.
No, you're not.
Computing
Oh
athletics
my god!
checks.
Why do I say? I mean, you're not gonna be.
Wait, can I do Dex to not have him snag it?
It's athletics.
Damn it.
Yeah. You guys are competing over pulling something.
I mean, no. Then.
16.
Ooh, it's 16 as well.
Oh shit!
The back rips open and gold coins scatter across
I just
the road.
kind of like.
There is the sound of metal as it's 500 gold pieces that unleash onto this cobblestone road. You guys are on a slight decline, so they start rolling down back towards the market district.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm
I'm
picking up as
snagging up-
much as
yeah,
I
I'm
can.
trying to grab all
Dexterity
of
saving throws for both of you.
I feel like I would just try to help as well.
Sure.
them.
Make them at advantage. You do have help from your party. What is Shay doing to regardless?
I mean, you don't give a shit about that stuff,
Mine was
anyways.
the same roll, but 19.
19?
12.
Okay. With help from Heinrich, you guys managed to gather up about 480 pieces of gold. 20 pieces lost. You do hear like a couple little, boop, like in like a well, and some of them roll out into like a
Feed the fish.
little part of the thing. Yeah, sure. Gold is great for fish. Don't feed your fish gold. You
Good for the sea turtles.
You end up with
I mean, dragon
485 pieces of gold, roughly 350 pieces,
And the difference.
135 pieces. Quick math.
Yeah.
Don't check it.
Don't check. I think you could have just dropped the 5.
Yeah.
350, so I'll give you 100.
So,
Well, you said split it.
Fat
Well,
Boy, thank you for
whatever,
the subscription.
fine.
Appreciate that.
I'll take
Hey.
the 100.
Subscriptions are great because it's a renewable source of income for the show and gets
Yay,
things
yay.
out.
Help us do this.
We
Yeah.
can buy new things.
We can actually. So all of like the printed handouts, that's all technically fan sponsored. That's all for money that fans have put in for different things. Talon technically at this point has paid for all of our, not all, for like 1 or 2 hero forges. So
Nice.
you guys haven't seen them yet, but they have,
Oh.
they're here.
Oh, shit.
That being said, so you guys have now
I'm
gathered your
stuffing it in
gold.
my pockets. Right.
Snow is starting to fall a little bit harder.
So
and
where
it's
were
getting
you,
a little darker.
Where we headed, Gunter?
I'm going to bed.
But where?
I'm on the ship. Where else?
Sounds fair, I guess.
Keep moving.
Well, follow along.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all make your way back to the Cat's Claw.
I'm like
There is-
looking back every now and again.
Sure.
Like,
At
get
us?
yeah.
Me too. I'm not mean.
Yeah, but you're lumped in right now.
That's not fair.
Well,
He's
I
old.
mean, it's hard to remember who did what to whom.
Gunter, you're in the
It's
lead.
been like an hour.
You're the one who shocked me. Let's
And
just
so you
remember
can see
that.
as you approach the Cat's Claw, your guys' ship, which has been renamed and slightly modified. And as you guys approach, even more work kind of being done. Sade has taken some time to get some things loaded onto the ship and ready for a voyage. You can see Tinsbury holding a little lantern, kind of just waiting. And he sees Gunter at first, and you guys kind of hear, "Oh, hi, Gunter!" And then as you guys emerge from this now very thick kind of falling snow,
I
there's
don't
about
remember
2
who
inches
you
down.
are.
That's okay. My name's Tinsbury.
Okay,
Welcome back.
Tinselberry.
Morwen, hi.
Hi.
Shay and Hamlick, welcome. And the little torch disappears, and
Yeah.
the little gangplank makes its way like foot by foot out over and down onto the dock, and Tinsbury comes running down. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You guys found Gundry? That's nice.
I found them.
Just walks past. Oh, he's in a normal mood.
In normal mood.
Yeah, we're just coming back to retire for the night. I
Well,
suppose.
come on in. It's getting real cold out here.
Yeah,
I'm
not my
gonna
favorite.
look for Sade.
Okay. You guys emerge back on. You looking for Sade would find that she's downstairs, sitting at the main table, sort of like a half-eaten cup of soup, maybe some kind of a thick-looking broth that's now a little bit cold. You can see like that layer of almost like clam chowder that dries on the top.
Yeah.
Skin.
With the
That
skin, yeah,
film-
you see the skin.
Oh, skin.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know it's even worse when
You
you
can
call
call
it
it film, but
It is a
skin is better.
Yeah, for sure, because that captures what it is.
Oh yeah.
But she's just there,
Blistery skin.
and you can see now that map that Tinsbury had originally started, kind of roughly. She's now like kind of fixing parts up on and working on it. But she turns and looks at you. Hello, Captain.
Hello. I think we're gonna call it a night. Do a few more things in town tomorrow, and then I think we'll be ready to go by tomorrow.
Okay, you said
Sound good for you?
yes, Gulliver's Bay.
Yes.
That is where you said you guys were going to go.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We are ready. The crew is mostly aboard. What do you call him? I do not remember his name. I believe you call him Dilf. But he said that he is going to check
Oh,
in.
Dilfy. Tank.
Those are very different names. But he said that he is going to check in with his people. Do not wait for him.
They all leave.
Well, he waited all day, and then you never came back.
Oh, now I feel bad.
But he said, do not wait. He is going to return and talk about this relic that apparently your wizard friend took or something. But have a
Word.
good sleep, and we will set sail on your say tomorrow.
Okay, good night.
He kind of nods to you. Anybody else, anything before you guys bed down for the night?
Alright, hold on.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna linger up on the deck for a little bit just
Okay.
to enjoy the temperature.
Absolutely. So as the snow really begins to fall, it is cold.
To be honest, too, I was gonna just do it for the sights because I like
Sure.
I like
Do
my
that.
town, and as much as I hate the cold, I do really like the snow.
Stealth check.
Oh
sleight of hand
gosh,
check.
oh no.
Stealth check, what check?
Sleight of hand. Stealth is
Stealth is 18.
okay.
Sleight of hand is 19.
Okay.
Oh God, what did he steal from who?
Yes. Make a performance check. Okay, so while this is happening, you make your way out onto the
I feel
deck.
like I would give a wide berth of wherever you're standing, but
17.
kind of like stand near.
Ew, you give a wide berth
Yeah.
right now?
Add that to your inventory.
I think I
Fucking
would
you.
have made my way to the front.
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing
just
it
gonna-
so that
I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know what you're changing.
You're standing
And I'm ripping up
appreciating
the
this-
other one.
Yeah. And I'd probably go and stand like a little. There's distance enough, and I'm just also like sitting quietly, leaning on the railing or I guess railing, and just kind of like looking out at the snow.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, my best. Oh, a 20 to it too. 11 then with the passive.
Okay.
I'm not actively looking to
Sure.
be fair. I'm
And
just
there's,
kind of
there's snow falling. Every now and then you'll see through the snow. You can't really see clearly, but almost this halo of light as a torch goes by from the town watch. It's very peaceful. And for the first time in a really long time, you guys aren't underground overnight. You guys aren't in a weird, creepy wood that makes you like fall asleep and has
Yeah.
creepy children spirits, possibly.
I'm feeling home. I'm feeling
This is a
comfortable.
really, even for Shay, a really homey evening. It's quiet with the fresh fallen snow. Footsteps are muffled, and so there is this incredible peaceful feeling. You don't even hear the creak of the wood of the ships. It's just very, very comforting. You spend some time out there, and it is a very quiet night.
Yeah.
As you guys go to sleep, you would see that Sade takes the first watch of the evening. So there's a watch already set up.
Point of fact, does all of my stuff take effect now?
Yeah.
Because I can't sleep anymore.
Not you can't.
No, like I actually can't.
You don't have to.
But I can't even be put to sleep.
Yeah, it's great.
So I know it's fucking weird though. So I feel like I would go and do the normal try to sleep, and like an hour goes by and I don't feel any different.
No.
And then another hour and no different. And I try reading. In fact, I would pull out the book at this point, the new one, and be like, oh, what? That's right. And I would like look at it, the cover
Sure.
and like the, you know.
You take it out of your bag in this book now that you're really looking at it. Very flat, almost gray, maybe a cloth that is binding the book, but held in place by these like very like gleaming metallic fastenings. There's no writing on the cover. There's no real symbol. But as you open it up, it is bright. It does shed a little bit of light. The writing on it is in Celestial.
Huh. Which I know, but I also now all of a sudden recognize.
And so as you
it.
look at it, it moves from these intricate circles of glowing bluish light. They kind of almost rearrange to form common. And this book, and in your lore, I'll add a little bit more in terms of like the substantial document.
Yeah.
But it is a book that details a little bit about the departure of the gods from Alberon, the signing of the accord, I think it's called the Divine Accord, between the Pantheon of Law and Light and the Pantheon of Shadow and Strife to leave this place and end their influence with mortals. It talks a little bit about the gods' structure within the upper planes and about how some of the gods employ various angels in different stages. There's the planar angels, which are the planar angels who are these incredibly powerful beings that do occasionally still visit Alberon on different gods' behalves. And there is this creeping feeling that perhaps one of these is responsible for your powers.
And I
But-
take all that in. I'm
But-
just kind of like fascinated. And I also just kind of like close it and then open it again just to be like, am I reading this?
Yeah.
And then I guess just as a test, just to see if this works, I pull out the spell book that was in Elvish.
Yeah, and as you pull it out, you can see the intricate glyphs of this beautiful, fluid Elvish language reshape into the fairly mundane structure of Common.
Yeah.
And this is a spell book that details the spell Identify.
I'm like, what the... I'm like taken aback by the ability to all of a sudden read that too.
Yeah, it's written by an Elvish wizard from somewhere across the Emerald Expanse, probably Everest, but there isn't a whole lot in it. It's just a name and of Everest. It is the spell Identify.
Ooh.
It talks a little bit about the components needed and some of the stuff. It doesn't make a ton of sense to you.
Sure.
You're not necessarily educated in the arcane in the way that a wizard might be,
Right. So
but you know enough about it to know what it is and what the spell does.
Huh. Noted. Writing that one in there.
Definitely valuable to the right person.
Yep.
So,
So doing all that stuff.
those of you who are... Actually, all of you can mark off a short rest.
Woo.
And morning is going to come. Gunter, make a Constitution saving throw,
Oh no.
because you're old.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Still
wake
kicking.
up and there's some bruises and your nose is like a little sore. But aside from
86
that,
years old.
yeah, 287, you get out of bed and there's some energy in your step. That fight really invigorated you a little bit. Spending time amongst other dwarves, it's a beautiful morning. Snow's still falling. There's about 8 inches down on the ground. Still fairly quiet. And you're getting up because you did go to bed fairly early. We'll call it like probably 6 in the morning.
Okay.
Light's just starting to come down.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
So I think I'm gonna eat some quick breakfast and make my way northwest of town.
Okay. So you're going to begin just eating a quick breakfast. I'm going to say you guys all went to bed pretty early, with the exception of you two. Like, you don't need to sleep, so you're fine. Like, you
Me?
read this book
I'm
now.
gonna
I
do
need
my-
to spend
No,
like
wait,
8
I didn't go to
yeah.
sleep.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
super
do my
early.
morning
Okay.
routine also, obviously.
Sure. So,
Like stretches.
so the two of you
I'm
in the
gonna-
same bed
My
wake
new
up at
morning
about the same
routine.
time. Gunter, you get out and you start doing these little stretches, and
Plants.
you can see that Gunter has gathered around like a dozen little potted plants of various kinds that he is now
Aw.
watering. But the
That
two of
makes
you
me
find
tear a little
consciousness
bit.
first.
And I just think to myself, that's so cute.
Yeah. And you notice this little itch on your thistle tattoo. But the two of you are awake.
Wait. Why is it infected?
It's healing.
Oh, okay.
Normal itch. Normal
oh.
tattoo itch.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, did he steal my tattoo and make it,
You look and your skin
and
is
make it a
missing.
disease?
No, I love that idea. But no, even Gunter can't do that.
The tower is
Oh
open.
no.
Someone's gonna die in it.
So, the two of you wake up. Is there anything that you wish to do before everybody else finds their way to the ship or consciousness, I suppose?
I feel like I'd already be up on deck.
You are all.
Well, I think
okay,
I already
so you're
did
up on
this
deck.
before, but I'm gonna switch the places. So
Back?
No, so the one that I have now, that one I'm gonna put
Yeah, okay.
in place of the other one and destroy the other one. And
Already
This
done.
is
All
a
that's
fun
done.
game.
Yeah.
Gunter.
Okay. Cool.
All that's done.
Okay. Good.
You've taken care of that.
Okay. Good.
Um,
Mark that off my list, and then I'm gonna have breakfast.
Excellent. So you.
And I'm
serve
in a pretty good
breakfast.
mood because I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, of course you are. Good.
yeah.
Gunter's in a great mood this morning. You notice as he's like slaughtering the plants and taking care of all these little
I
things.
find it suspicious as fuck.
Yeah,
Even
you-
though I'm happy for him.
You've shared this
I'm
room with him.
supportive, but questionable.
And actually, Matt has made a very, very clear point to do the same thing every single morning. Gunter has the exact same routine every morning. And so you do notice, like, it deviates a little this morning. He's, like, in a pretty good mood. You would definitely notice that. That being said,
I'm sure that I didn't notice any
eventually,
of
Shay,
the little...
you wake up. All,
Those?
all four of you find consciousness. The morning is now yours. It's like 7 in the morning. Very, very early. The port still hasn't really woken up. And with the snow falling, it's still pretty quiet. What do you guys want to do?
Make food. I'm hungry.
Without too much trouble, you guys make breakfast. Other crew members beginning to come to.
Can
By
I
the
try
time-
to make enough for everyone as like a good gesture?
Roll 20 sided dice. Yes, you
Oh
certainly
my
can.
god, no, not the D20. 12.
12, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Not as good of a cook as me.
No.
Well-
Secret ingredients.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I got
man.
them East Coast biscuits and gravy, not the West Coast biscuits
Oh,
and
there
gravy.
you go.
So, yeah, you make
scrapple here
this.
and
You take different elements that you have. Now that you've noticed that Sade has brought aboard bread and different grains and some dried cereals and different things that are designed more, ship food.
Yeah.
But
Ship
a
food.
little bit more variety than the catfish that you guys have been eating for some time.
And the shark.
Or the shark.
How long is that supposed to last for? Like months?
It's no.
No?
like about a month, but
Okay.
it's quickly. I mean, you guys were in a humid tropical environment for a little bit.
There's also a lot of us.
What's that I
and
said?
we weren't trying to save much.
And you guys
Yeah.
were not terribly wasteful. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys ate most of it.
Right.
But you put together a great breakfast from all that kind of stuff and using some of the things that you have being freshly in port, eggs. You actually have like some bacon and stuff. So very, very nice.
I try out the new recipe that the Cold Harp is going to be using.
Sure, yeah, sure. So you get
Do a little
bit of-
testing.
A little bit of like a more of like a cinnamon kind of element and some
Sure.
kind of stuff, some different things.
And I set it up as a buffet on the table.
Yeah, great.
And then
breakfast.
I eat, and then I leave a note that says, help yourselves.
And even before you leave the note, I mean, Tinsbury's down there, Sade's down there.
Okay.
You can see Abernathy gets up pretty early, and he's just kind of having like a plain piece of bread, but he seems pretty happy with it.
Okay.
He doesn't have a ton of teeth, so he's really kind of gumming through it.
Wait, you made food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
I
gonna
made
have
a
some
big
and judge
breakfast
it.
for everyone.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, you have it, and you're
I don't
like,
show
this is
it.
probably terrible. But as you're eating it, it is this like very soft egg that has enough moisture left, but it's not runny. The bacon itself is crispy, and there's like a spice to it that's like actually kind of nice, almost peppery but sweet at the same time. So it's a sweet salty combination.
That's tiefling butthole.
And a
It's
really
not,
nice,
actually, don't worry. I would-
kind
I
of
would
crisp
do that
and
too.
buttered bit of bread that seems to have some kind of maybe I don't know, some kind of an herbal component to it, but it's delicious.
Man, I'm more creative than I thought.
I don't show that I'm enjoying it, but I do finish my whole bowl.
Okay, yeah. And so just flat.
Oh, there's
expression
definitely
to the best of
vegetarian
your ability.
options too.
You would
I'm
notice
just like-
as you're eating this, just kind of rapid, the tail like
Yeah.
flickering back and forth.
Yeah.
But you guys have breakfast. The rest of the crew kind of milling about. What are you guys doing?
I don't know yet.
I'm gonna start packing my things to get ready to go.
Well, is there any more business in town?
I know what I want to do, but I think I have to make notes.
Oh,
Okay.
secrets. All right.
Secrets? You guys would notice Gunter kind of preparing his things.
So it seems like the decision on how we're getting up north has been made. I suppose we're taking the ship, but
Well, doesn't that depend on
well, yeah. Would you
your contact, so to say?
care to join?
Sure.
Okay. And I feel like slowly, just walking, taking in the yet again probably last day we'll be here for a long time kind of thing. First swinging by the cold harp.
The top
I'll
one on
let
the
you
line
finish with
side?
that. This fucking secrets game is so annoying.
I have so many written.
It's so annoying.
The top one on the blank side?
No, not
We
a
can't
top.
read from
There's
here,
not a
just
top
show
one.
her the
There's
paper.
just like a
Can you circle it?
or star
There's so
or
many
something.
things written on that piece of paper.
That's been-
I can't decipher anything.
that is a 9-month-old index card. With
Yeah, we've had the
secrets.
same index card from Alberon
Okay, I
for the entire
asterisked
campaign. Thank you. So the two of you are going to head
So
out.
so the heading that I want to do once you're done. The heading that I want to do
Roll
is
for that.
No, the
basically
top one I would have just said.
Sure, roll for that, please.
the heading I want to do is just swing by the cold harp and just check in on Tom, see what the plans are and how that's been progressed, and then kind of like meander through town, through the market for a second, then to the castle, giving time for people to get up.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if anything of note, of change, if anyone,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Keeping an eye out.
I mean 20.
20. Okay.
Sorry,
so
plus 11. That's why I said that.
the
But.
two of you heading first to the cold harp. You guys head down off the ship and then towards that area in the docks. Gunter, you are heading for where?
I'm heading northwest towards the Red Shields
Okay.
to go get that 2,000 gold
Okay.
and help with whatever the thing was. Because 2,000 gold for one job
Would we-
versus 2 silver a year to go hunt goblins in the north.
What 2,000 gold job are you doing for the Red Shields? I'm curious.
Wasn't that what she was saying?
Nope.
They're offering 2,000 gold.
Yeah, to recover this thing. Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. You're going to ask him about the missing
Yeah,
caravan.
the-
Things
Sure.
with us out
Yeah.
in the-
Okay. Wasn't like a firm job offer, but okay, yeah, there's a reward.
That's a reward.
Okay, so you make your way in that direction. We'll go there first. You head towards the Red Shield Caravanserai. There are footprints down in the snow now, and the snow is beginning to get a little bit muddy as the morning crowd begins to pick up a little bit. Let me change the music here a little bit. So, as you walk to this Red Shield place, there's a figure that passes you that definitely catches your eye. It's this gleaming white horse within the white snow, and on it, this beautiful snow white cloak, atop black armor with these silver fastenings. Make a perception check just as they ride past you.
That's 19 plus something. That's 24.
A 19 plus something. 24?
24.
Okay. So you can see that this individual, give me 1 second here, is human, perhaps, although as you're looking, the color of his skin is all wrong. There's no way that he's human. His skin is like pale, almost gray. And as he goes by and you can see into the actual cloak, because it comes like deep over his head, you see just the tips of these elven ears. You don't quite make out his eyes. You do see around him there are these kind of chains that are wrapped around and wrap around almost as a belt with these hooks. The hooks themselves seem almost plated maybe in silver. By their side there's this big book. It's like this pale white gray leather, maybe skin, but it's binding this book. The book itself glows very faintly. But he rides past you without making any eye contact, heading in the direction of the market. You reach the Red Shield caravan area. There's like tons of horses at this point in time. It's the morning, so none of the caravans have left. You can see there's a whole bunch of different soldiers. The compound itself, maybe 500 feet long, with a wooden fence about 10 feet tall that goes around the entirety of the thing. 2 guard towers pushed off towards the back of it. You can see there's 2 structures. One large, seems to be almost like offices or maybe more of an administrative building. There's a much bigger one that is 2 stories and seems to house a lot of these guards, and then also seems to have like a mess hall built in underneath.
I'm gonna go to what I assume is where the leadership is in the administrative building.
Okay.
And you'll be like, I'm looking. I heard that there was a job.
You open the door, snow like billowing into this place. You would
It's a very
notice.
like Western scene, but then
Right.
I want a job.
Yeah. The first door that you enters into a small, maybe 15-foot square room. There's this little desk and a long table with a bench. You can see on the table, it looks as if somebody's tried to sand it off, but deeply carved in is a Luktai's name. And it's like been, you can see that people have really been putting some effort into sanding it off, but it's like carved almost a quarter inch into the wood. But sitting in this, there is an older man dressed in the red tabard and with a shield on it. Looks up at you. He is wearing like very, very simple leather armor.
I'm gonna stride over to the table and be like, I heard you were looking for someone to get you back your stuff. And I'm gonna slam my hand down on the table and be like, well, you've come to the right place. And mending, I'm gonna mend the table so that the
All of this at once is just so much.
Roll,
It's just like
roll a persuasion check at advantage.
that's pretty clever.
It's the best use of mending I've ever seen.
To impress. It's so great.
too bad that was
A spell
4
slot.
persuasion at
It's a
advantage.
can- it's a cantrip,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
still bad. That was 13.
Okay.
No, 14. Not
Okay.
terrible.
And he wasn't expecting this,
It
so.
was a 4 and a 9.
You walk over, and as you you kind of like brush your fingertips across the table, and it doesn't get the nice slap that you were looking for, but the men still casts, and you watch as this energy bursts from your fingertips, and the wood itself creaks as it heals over. You can see the faintest lines of like looked left, but you did more work on this table than everybody else has so far with the sandpaper. Or whatever they've been using to sand this thing
Rough
down.
rocks.
Rough rocks. Some guy's face.
Stubble.
Yeah.
Stubble. Yeah, that's
The
pretty
8
good.
o'clock shadow. He looks down at it and kind of blinks and just looks at you. I haven't had my coffee yet. This is a lot, but that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, I'm
Also-
a pretty impressive guy.
Also, you came to us, which is great.
Well, that's what I said.
Okay. You hear about the missing caravan. I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, that's the one. Some
Alright.
lady told me about it, Gilda. She was like, oh, you can go north for 2 silver a year to go hunt goblins. Or I've got this other thing, they're giving 2,000 gold. I was like, 2,000 gold?
That doesn't seem right about the goblins, but
That's what I said. 2 silver a year to go hunt goblins? That's a terrible price.
Sure.
Who's gonna take that?
I believe that was 2 silver an ear, but that's.
Yeah.
She's not there.
I'm not
Yeah.
there.
You,
Yeah. An ear is pretty.
So if you're trying to get this back from us, we believe that it's somewhere within. Are you from around here?
No.
Okay, you're gonna have trouble, but you have to get through the shaded woods,
What trouble's my middle name?
and somewhere south of that, this caravan has gone missing. There's some very valuable and very dangerous kind of weapon there.
Danger's my middle name.
I don't believe you, but that's also okay. I would be very cautious and bring help with you. We've sent people after them, and nobody's come back.
Help.
Not your middle name?
How old are you?
I'm 287 years old. And that didn't stop me until now.
It's like looking at the table and kind of trying to evaluate exactly who you are.
Have you heard of the Finger Gang?
Yes.
That's me, baby.
Roll a deception check.
Oh God,
It's all you.
what a pickup line.
That's 12.
Ugh.
That's
I
me,
heard-
baby.
I heard there was like 6 or 7 of you.
I'm one of them.
More
That
like
makes more
10.
sense.
I'm the leader.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we're getting somewhere then. The Finger Gang has done some good work for Port Quinn,
Yeah,
which is good
we're
for
pretty
us.
big around
So,
there.
yeah, if you can get this back, it's a large steel crate. And it has this emblem on it that looks like a torch with these 4 spikes coming off of it.
Large steel crate with the spikes. All right.
With
Spiky
the
crate.
spikes.
Large spiky crate.
What is within it is an implement for some of the warcasters at the front, apparently. Do not touch it.
What happens if I touch it?
You explode, I think.
Ah, that doesn't sound great.
Yes. I mean, you can cast magic. Maybe it'll be okay for you. I don't know.
That's probably fine. I've been through a couple scraps in my day.
Personally, don't really care. But make sure you bring friends with you to bring the thing back after whatever happens to you.
And then you give me the 2,000 gold?
Whoever survives and can bring it back, yes.
All right, so 2,000 gold. I'm counting on you.
That's fine. I
All
might
right.
not be here, but if you bring it back...
Are
somebody
you
will
gonna
get it.
die? Or am I?
Are you threatening me?
No, you just said you're not gonna be here.
Well, because I work.
Ah.
This is a job. I have a family.
Oh, that's so nice.
It is, actually. We're getting on in years, and I don't really get to see my grandkids as much as I would like.
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping eventually I can maybe make enough to retire from this life and move a little bit north of Port Quinn.
Well, I wish the best for you.
I hear far water is nice this time of year, and I think being on the lake would be excellent, and the grandkids could come and they could stay, and there's a school nearby, the Lorebinder Academy. They take
I've
young
heard of
ones,
that
and
place. It's some rotten apples have been there though.
Perhaps it's a
Yeah, I would.
library.
Don't send your kids there.
Okay. Definitely listen to you. What was your first name? I know your middle name is Danger.
It's good to danger. Good to danger trouble.
GDT.
That's it. That's all I'm giving you. Good to danger trouble.
Roll a deception check.
Is that a 1?
No, it's 13. It was an 8.
Oh, from here it looked like.
Mr. Danger, or whatever your name is, I do hope that you find success and we can put this business behind us.
Wow, success is my middle name.
So your name, just so that we're clear, is Gunter. Danger.
Trouble success.
You can see he's like not doing a good job hiding the smile. Good luck, Gunter. Danger, trouble, success.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well. You're gonna need it. Just-
The door isn't even closed, and you can just hear this like guffaw of laugh just go out. This is probably the best encounter he's had in a long time. But you make your way back out into the snow. Meanwhile, the two of you,
Yeah. So market first, and then Cold Heart market, and then whatever.
the thing that you were doing, Polly, or Morwen, just keep in mind you were there, and so those are all things that you are going to be seeing and doing. Let me know if there's anything that you want to do in addition.
I'm just gonna stick with the same at the moment.
Perfect.
Okay.
Secrets. The two of you make your way off the ship, head to the Cold Harp first. You find Tom is there, as always. There's you can smell bacon before you even get there. Kind of burnt, but there. And as you approach, Tom gets up. Heinrich.
Hey, Tom.
So I talked to some of the boys down at the Port General.
Okay. Well, how are you this morning? First of all,
Oh.
jump right to it, but
I'm doing fine. Excited about this the new improvements that we're making.
me
Very
too.
excited.
Me too.
Some of the boys can come down and get the work done. Probably in about 3 months, we can get the whole thing squared away.
That's great. That's good time.
Way better than I was expecting. I hate to ask this, but in the meantime, we do need some money to cover incidentals and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an embarrassing large sum.
Okay. How much more are we talking?
About 3 gold.
Oh man. And then I just pull out 4 and like, here. One more just for all your hard work.
Very generous, thank you. And he takes these 4 gold pieces and kind of pockets them. One of the gold pieces goes in a different pocket.
It's totally fine. I feel like I would see that and be like,
You've known Tom for long enough. He puts all of his money in different pockets so that if he ever gets pickpocketed, it's not all gone.
smart man.
But this will definitely get us through, and we'll take care of all those things. And he kind of looks over at Shay. Even the thing And he kind of gestures down.
Like, yes. I hope that when it is complete, it is not referred to so openly and obviously.
I didn't say anything about the secret room. That's what I called it the thing.
Good. Keep it that way. You know what? As soon as you tell someone else about it, though, forget about it. Easiest way to do it.
Forget about what?
Like the... Oh.
Pretty good. Well, Tom's got a couple tricks.
All right. That's great. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, that's good. Everything else? Anything else important at the moment to take care of? Just wanted to make sure plans were underway and
Nope.
getting taken care of.
I think we should be all set. The new menu is going to be great, and I think we'll give those dwarves a run for their money at the
Sure.
fist
A
hall.
little healthy. Economic competition is totally fine.
I want to crush them.
Okay. Well, do your best. Try your hardest. Hey, speaking of which, did you the other person who would be filling in for you on your days off? Did you?
Still looking. But
Okay.
we'll find someone. A couple promising leads.
Okay, that's good. Any names so far?
Not that have come up, but I've been
Okay.
a little busy. I mean, it's only been about 12 hours.
That's
So-
a very good point. Forgot about that.
Little
Been a
time
week
would
for
be
me,
great.
but yeah. All right. No, that's all good. That's good. Good to hear. Glad to hear it. Well, we have some business to tend to. We might be leaving town, but when we come back, we'll check in and see how the progress is.
Very good. I'm hoping it comes along quickly.
Me as well. Yeah. Well, that's it then, I suppose.
All right. And he kind of heads back to his chair by the one window.
Right.
Just kind of.
He's gonna have two, and it's gonna be so nice.
I know he's very. He's excited.
I gave
about
him a
this.
second window.
He's excited about this.
All right.
These are all great changes for him.
Cool. I don't know if you need to
Wayne.
know. You don't need to do anything here. All right.
Shay quietly makes her way,
Yeah.
and you guys make your way towards the market.
Yeah.
At this point, you do notice, coming from the direction of the Dwarven Quarter, there's a horse. And on this horse, there's a figure, white cloak, these chains that kind of rattle as they go by.
Same description.
Same description, however, he does take note of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see the hood kind of change as he passes.
Do I get a sense of anything?
Make an insight check.
Please and thank you. Sorry, I'm doodling our logo right now.
Oh, doodling's great.
The finger gang shirt's in progress. You said insight?
Yeah.
8 plus 5, 13.
13. Can't really see his face, and so it's hard to really make out. Although you do see, looking at him, the chin and the neck, this like pale gray skin, unlike anything that you've really seen previous.
Mm-hmm.
But the figure does pass, and you can see the hood slowly kind of turn back and
What's his heading?
towards Helm's Temple.
Okay. I feel like we might reroute. That looks like maybe the guy.
Seems to fit the type.
Yeah. Let's head on over slowly so we don't interrupt him and just make sure that's where he's headed. Doesn't seem to be necessarily I don't know what you sensed from him, but not necessarily here to do
Can I
any
roll?
ill.
Can I roll for insight?
Sure.
22.
Fuck.
At this point, he has passed, so you don't get a whole lot. But from looking at his back, you do notice the cloak is turned around. You watched his gaze kind of follow Heinrich a little bit, and then the thing that really stands out to you is these hooks. Beyond the fact that he's wearing a belt made of chains and hooks, these hooks are silvered.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably a religious figure, or in some way associated with those that do battle with the undead.
Sure.
Don't really get any intent off of him. He is almost creepily static in the way that he holds himself.
Okay.
But on this gleaming white horse with the gleaming white cloak, makes his way towards Helm's Temple. What are you guys doing?
Following him, I guess.
Okay. You follow, and he would come to a stop about 15 feet back from the steps. The door at this point is ajar.
Yeah.
There's a pile of corpses, a little bit of frost settling on the nearest
That's
one.
what I was kind of hoping people would take care of, but I didn't want to leave a mess.
But yeah, there's a guard there now. You can see kind of posted up. He's standing away from the door, like very purposely with his back turned to it, like not
Right.
trying to look in. But the figure stops. There's a as the cloak billows around him and he dismounts the horse. And even as his feet touch the ground, the horse disappears. People
Word.
within the street stop, and there is like this like
Gasp.
wave of gasps and kind of pointing. The hands come up, and as the cloak is pulled down, you see these elf ears kind of almost comically like boing, spring out. But this elf, very different than the elves that you guys have encountered so far. Even different for you, who have encountered elves.
Variety of.
Even a different. Well, Morwen isn't there. Even different.
I kind of saw. No, not face.
You, in some ways, reminiscent of a star elf. This super delicate, almost porcelain skin. But outside of that,
Oh,
really
okay.
difficult to say too much. Different than any elf you've seen. The eyes are so white at first they almost appear blind, but as they adjust to the daylight, you can see there's just this hint of blue, almost like the ocean during a storm. You would also see this armor now, like a little bit more up near the top, is also silvered with this black, very refined leather, and a symbol that you don't recognize. It is like a diamond, and then it has these 6 points, 3 going up from the top, 3 going down from the bottom. But he seems to be just regarding this temple at the moment. You guys doing anything?
Sir, kind of like pointedly talk, not like angrily. Sorry. Trying to address him. Excuse me.
You see like the head turn, you see part of the face.
Mhm.
Doesn't turn fully to face you, but you have his attention.
Were you the one who was called upon to take care of this temple and then the evils that had dwelled within it?
And at this, the cloak does again make this like, and he turns fully to face you. He's like probably 6'4". He's tall. He walks over, his feet almost silent in the snow. And there are people now kind of almost gathered around. It's like this circle, and people are walking by, but a lot are stopping and watching this interaction. And you would hear within the crowd various whispers, some of them just saying, "It's a harbinger." And actually one or two kind of going, "I think he's in the Finger Gang."
Would I know what a harbinger is, by the way?
Make a religion check. Religion or history, your choice, and they'll get different things.
Sure. I suppose history, because up until now, recently, religion really wasn't
Sure.
my thing. 5.
History's
The
not
word
your
is in common.
Yeah.
Outside of that, probably not.
Okay. That's all.
No real connection from Erebos or anybody that would really have any kind of religious... Eridos, sorry. But aside from that, he does turn at this. Yes, I am Harbinger Euthelius.
Euthelius?
Euthelius.
Euthelius. I'm trying my best. I'm so sorry.
And you are?
The name is Heinrich. My friend here and I, and well, another of ours, we actually dealt with the problem that was in there. I don't want to waste your time necessarily.
Oh, you're not. I have questions for you.
What are you looking at? And I'm like, look. Is he looking at my horns?
Yes.
Okay.
My eyes are
Okay.
down here.
Yeah. Right. What kind? Okay, questions. Sure. Well, should we at least maybe make headway towards the keep to sort of get out of the snow?
I'm not here for them.
Okay.
I am here to take care of the holy places in this land.
Well, okay. That's
Shall we?
good. Sure.
And he just turns and then begins walking up towards the steps. As he approaches the Imperium of this man, I mean, the guard kind of steps to intercede and kind of looks. You see, he glances at the symbol that you noticed on his chest and just steps aside.
I feel like I'm following at a distance.
And there is a moment where the guard does kind of come up to you and just says, Sir, we really can't have...
Um,
And the Harbinger turns and just says, it's okay. He's with me.
And we've also already been in there.
And
for
he
the
just
guard.
like quietly backs up. You, without issue, make your
Yeah.
way in. Shall you follow?
Matter?
You enter, and there's this pile of now somewhat frost-covered corpses. You can see again the gnome with a hatchet sticking out of his head, like kind of grasping at the wound now. But he doesn't seem to take too much notice of it. Now that we have a bit more privacy, I have some questions for you. You see, harbingers are not dispatched lightly. We are a valuable resource for this kingdom. So, I hope you don't mind. But I'm going to cast a little bit of a spell. And it's going to ensure that I get honest answers from you.
By all means.
And you see he takes some time and he begins pulling out these little bits of powdered gold. And he creates a circle. Unclear what the spell is.
Right, yeah.
But as he finishes the circle and ends up making some of these things, I need you to make, or choose to fail, a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'll just choose to fail it.
Okay?
Did I notice his book yet, by the way, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then
Not
I would.
terribly dissimilar to yours.
Right.
In terms of some of the coverings of it, the symbology is different.
Mhm.
I appreciate your cooperation. Please feel free to ask me any questions as well.
Of course.
And he steps into the circle as well.
Mhm.
He turns, he's very lingering gaze.
Yeah, it's like unnerving.
Feel free to join us if you would like. But I ask that you wait for your questions. What is your name?
It's Makavir.
And who is it that you serve?
I do not know.
Wonderful. What is your purpose?
That's also kind of a tricky one, I'm gonna be honest, as I have to be. Well,
It wasn't designed to be an easy question.
the more I think about it, with all that's happened lately, and certain failings, I suppose it would be to protect and help those that don't deserve the suffering that is sent to them.
Wonderful. It is entirely my job to serve the Church of Law and Light and protect its places in this very dark world. And so, when I am sent to a place like Port Quinn, the middle of nowhere, I don't appreciate when my time is wasted. That being said, you have taken care of this problem, yes?
It seems so, unless you sense any more threat.
There is always threats.
Immediate danger, at least.
It appears that my work is done. This is very fortunate for me, as I have a very busy schedule. So I do appreciate that. He reaches behind him and unclips this leather, it's like a square pouch that has sort of like a fastening, very fancy in terms of the way that it's been tooled, and it has a similar symbol to the symbol that he wears. I don't especially have any need for this, but if this serves your purpose as somebody who perhaps is beginning their own steps in the right direction. And he unclips it and brings out these 3 vials of holy water
Huh.
and hands them to you.
I take them.
Is there anything that you wish to ask before I end this exchange?
Yes, but how?
Just
You're a person of the cloth and the gods and all of that. Is there any sense of someone could be watching over me? Someone, any assistance in sort of divining what has happened to me, what is happening to me?
We are always being watched.
Creepy.
Always.
And that is all. Who do you serve? More, do you have a specific god, or is it the whole pantheon?
I serve the light. The same light that saw me walk across the tongue of fire unscathed and brought me home.
Damn. This is all too heavy. I suppose I wouldn't want to waste your time more, but if you had any advice to give someone who is, like you said, starting out on their path, what advice would you give? Places to visit?
Roll persuasion
Like
check.
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
good stuff. Roll persuasion check.
Oh shit. That's a nat 20 plus
Okay.
5. 25.
You are new in this pursuit.
Yeah.
Who is it that you wish to serve? It is clear that you are the kind to be dedicated to one through your questions.
Without telling you the whole story, I suppose, and oddly enough, as we are standing in this place, Helm seems to have drawn my attention, at least.
Why is it odd that we be in a place such as this?
Oh. Well, I have never given this place any weight at all, and I'm from here, and my brother had went off to become a cleric of this very god that, well, I suppose, hopefully should return here. And I never gave it much thought. It never had any traction with me, I suppose. But all of a sudden, it's like it's pulling me back and sort of giving me a wake-up call to, like, it's been here this whole time. I suppose that just strikes me as odd, that it would only now, after having flung me so far away from home, return me here just to invite me in.
I don't believe that there is coincidence.
It's hard to see sometimes, but that is something I suppose I should start giving more thought to.
If you choose to serve this god, Helm, the Vigilant, and it seems that you have some mark of his already,
Kind of like touch the tattoo.
he kind of gestures at your eye.
Oh, and then I like,
And you have this kind of flashback to
I'm like, oh fuck, that's right.
the church in
Actually-
Farshore with the eye patch that is on Helm.
Oh,
And back to the depiction within the very simple
nice.
Quarter of Lords depiction, that one closed eye.
Mm.
The right eye of Helm is always depicted as closed because even with a closed eye, he's always vigilant. That is the thought process behind the iconography. And so there is this moment where you realize, yeah, your eye's gone black on the right side.
Yeah.
But if you wish to pursue higher learning of this kind, perhaps I could aid you in reaching some place like this. Yes. In the capital, in Sarentil, there is the... let me check my notes because
That's
this is
fine,
real
go
deep.
ahead.
This is
Yeah.
real deep stuff here.
Yeah, oops, sorry.
I could take you to the Chapel of Convergence in Sarentil. Sort of our seat of operations, if you will.
Of convergence.
The Church of the Six. Or, if that is too urbane for one such as you, you must understand you will stand out.
I mean, yeah, I used to that. Only one place I've ever been, and I stand out there now too.
You've never been to Sarentil.
Mm-mm.
you would not be looked kindly
Exactly.
upon.
Mm.
And be mindful, you are within the zone of truth. He's telling you the truth. here.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that.
Covered.
A bit more comfortable might be within the Lorebinder Academy. I could take you there.
That's the one up north.
Yes.
Okay.
Not too far, but a ways up north. At 1,000 gates, there is the Helm's Guard, and they know about Helm, obviously. An order of paladins that uphold his name.
That's Helmsguard and Thousand Gates.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Outside of that, it would be those are the places that I can get to easily.
Well, I would be lying and unable to do so if I didn't say that we, and I gesture to Shay, like, have,
Oh yeah, Shay's there.
Yep.
yeah, more important, not more important, this is always important, I don't know how to phrase this. In line with protecting and being vigilant, which is, I guess, something that, at least at the onset, must be more mindful of, could not immediately join you that way. We are heading north, though, to... I'm not exactly even sure.
Yes, someone walked out before they were here.
Yeah. I insulted my friend, and I feel terribly of it. And I'm in the zone of truth, so you know it's true. So I suppose just any sort of direction, not necessarily accompanying, because we're traveling by boat, unless you wouldn't mind joining that, to the Lorebinder Academy, at least in passing. I don't know where you're heading, honestly.
I don't travel by boat.
I
It
see.
is a slow and inelegant way of moving.
Ah,
I could bring you to the Lorebinder Academy today, now.
oh jeez.
I do not need to wait to go places. That is why I do not like to come to places without teleportation circles like Port Quinn.
Hmm.
This is, even by
Arduous.
magical means, not a fun trip.
Right. Well, I could not part with my friends. I owe them too much.
That is
Especially
why
even, like,
friends will
current
always
state.
drag you down.
Hmm. I honestly don't know how I feel about that, truthfully.
I
This
hope
is
that
within-
flame
it's within
burns
the
a
zone
little.
of
I
truth,
know,
too.
and I truthfully respond, I don't know how I feel about that.
That is okay.
That is notes. Note to, yeah, I have taken note of that.
Well, you have my advice.
Yes.
And you have what I can give you. But if you do not need my services, I am always called elsewhere.
Well, I appreciate the guidance you've given me, but I don't think I have anything else to ask of you. I do appreciate it all, though.
And you?
I do have at least one question. I am pursuing a force of shadow. As someone from the light, perhaps you will have encountered them. Members of my own kind who have fallen, so to say.
You are Zanyi from
Yes.
the north.
Yes.
Huh. Somewhat barbaric, but useful. Your friend or ally or compatriot has fallen to the dark.
Yes.
Kill them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Have you heard anything? Seen anything?
I see many things.
Specifically in reference to where I might find them.
Make a persuasion check.
And that is a 15.
Nothing. I'm terribly sorry.
It's all fine. I know what I need to do. Thank you for your time.
And he exits the zone of truth. And as he does, the magic that is holding it together just fades, and there's, again, just regular wood. And regular snow. Not snow, sorry. You guys are within stone. Stone. Regular stone.
Get stoned.
And you can see he begins making other sigils and setting up this teleportation circle.
Is that gonna last?
No.
Damn it.
Teleportation circle is a
It's too costly.
5th level spell, 4th level spell, maybe even. But the way that you make a permanent teleportation circle is you cast
You
it
have to
every
cast it
day.
the same
for
place.
a
Oh
year
fuck, that's right. Yeah.
At 50 gold pieces per.
So when we have
instance of travel.
our own stronghold, we'll be doing that. We'll set someone to do that.
Probably want to hire some guy to just
Yeah,
come up every
maybe
day and do it.
Bernal.
So,
Deep cut.
he's just working on his ritual. What are you guys doing in the meantime?
I mean, without needing. If we're traveling by boat, we're traveling by boat. I'm not going to break that.
Sure.
I want to go get a really cool book holder thing to wear that on my hip like he was doing.
Okay.
Because I was like, that dude's kind of badass. As much as I
like
hated
his
how much of
style.
as much of a straightforward dick as he was, it was also like, truthful and appropriate. If he can do that
Was he a
without,
dick?
if he
I
can
don't
do
know if
that,
he's a dick.
not really. If he can do that outside of the zone of truth, that's when he would be a true badass.
He's very blunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is Ethelius. So
Aethelius. Well, he didn't give his last name or
He did
anything, right? Okay. How do you spell it? I'll phonetically do it. Don't worry about it.
EUTHILIEUS. So you guys begin to head in the direction of the market, I guess?
I wanted to just get you saw that book. That was pretty cool. I just want to get one of those from my book. And then we can go back to the ship and then take off.
Okay.
Actually, where the fuck is Gunter? This is the daily question.
Wait, you don't care about me?
You make your way back
I
from
trust
the Red Shield caravan, so you get back into like the main part of town.
I mean,
I'm
sworn off
following
being
down
super.
this caravan.
That's why I
Okay.
wanted to do it. I'll take care
Well,
of him. Try, at least.
like, maybe Morgan can help me. Quick in and out. We'll steal it, come back. Quick in and out. Quick in and out.
So you're looking for Morwen?
Thaumaturgy. Morgan!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait.
Morwen, you hear
I set the mic
Gunter
up too well this
as
week.
he
It's
is
very
very
loud.
close by. Your name like echoes through the snowy streets, ringing through. People like turn and look. There's a horse that like whinnies somewhere nearby.
In all fairness, I don't think I'm that far, so I'm just gonna.
Not
Right!
Morgan!
Right behind
right
him.
behind you is Morwen.
Oh! Come on, I got a job. Let's go.
So you follow
So
Gunter.
we're gonna go get the crate?
What?
What?
What crate?
Oh, I thought we were
You're not-
gonna. What? Oh,
Did you? What?
who?
Who told you that?
Let's go.
What?
That's amazing. Yeah, I want that to be a real shirt. We're gonna make that a real shirt. So you guys head off towards the south. You guys get towards the end of town. You walk through the market district by the bank on your right and the spice market.
So what'd
So
you think
anyway-
about that snow elf, huh?
What? Oh, yeah, I saw him passing by. The weird guy.
Yeah.
White.
I was right behind
really
you
Pale.
the whole time.
Ah.
The whole time.
Sneaky.
Hey.
Ah. All right. So, all right, I don't have to fill you in then. So yeah,
No,
we're gonna
I know
go
it
get
all.
this thing.
Okay.
Good. All right.
Should we let the rest of the crew know, or are we just going? We going rogue?
I don't know. I mean, she's been pretty gung ho about doing whatever she wants.
Are we still just gonna go with this? All right. Yeah.
This is the walking and talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You know,
You need people with coconuts.
yeah.
So, how far do we know how far we are?
You guys asked very few questions about this. You know that this
Word.
is somewhere to the south.
I literally asked.
beyond
none,
the
but
shaded
yeah.
woods. You guys would know the shaded woods you guys traveled through and fought bandits in.
That was day one.
That was literally session 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Back
gonna
last
get
March.
to like the edge of the woods, presumably.
Sure.
And
It's
then,
about an hour and a half out of
Are
town.
you fucking serious?
And then
Us?
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
Okay. So again, you're walking an hour and a half out of town to get to that point, but you can do that when you get there. Okay.
Yeah, when I get there.
So you guys,
Once I get to like within 1,000 feet of where I imagine
I
it
feel like
would
we
be, given the little that I heard.
feel like
I know
we
it's
need-
in the woods, so I'm gonna go to the woods
Okay.
and then be like,
Goodbye.
All right,
And
where
walk
is
the
it?
Same way with him, like you do in a hallway. You're like, oh, sorry.
you guys walk for about an hour and a half.
So anyway, I said, I'm not gonna go all the way up north for a year for 2 silver to kill a bunch of goblins.
No, that's stupid. I'll
I'm
just
gonna go
steal
down
all that
south and
gold.
I'm gonna get the 2,000 gold. That's stupid.
with ya.
Why would,
So
anyway,
you get to the edge of the shaded forest, which you guys
And they call
emerge
me a
from
thief.
I know.
on the first day. You know from the edge of the forest there's not anything because you've traveled through this part of the forest.
Okay.
So you know that it's probably, again, another 6 hours to the other edge where you guys began your journey on that shipwreck. And then
Let's go
from
back to the
there,
spawn point.
somewhere beyond there is this cart.
It's through
Give
the
me-
woods.
give me a
Snow's getting a
second.
little bit lighter now at this point.
I'm gonna shimmy up the a tall tree.
Sure.
Where you
and
go?
Shimmy
Get
up
a
without problems.
get a aerial view. See
Make a
if-
survive or make a
May I,
perception check at advantage. from
Good
the-
luck.
tap on the butt.
The guidance
Survival
butt
check?
tap, I think, is ubiquitous in like everyone's group who has a
Yes,
cleric.
100%.
Like it always
You
devolves
said
into a butt
survival.
tap.
Always.
No, perception
Perception.
at advantage because you're shimmying up that tree.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Well, fuck.
+4.
You climb up. As you climb up, Gunter, you like looking up from like tapping up that like the little guidance butt tap. Snow like falls down on you and into your face as Mormon makes her way up.
You're
From the
just sitting with your
outside,
mouth open.
from the outside of the tree though, the outside is not disturbed. It's only the inside. Mormon very quietly gets up to the top. As you get up to the top, you take note there is an empty bird's nest, covered in snow now. But looking out, you see a number of things.
Everyone with a drink. Drink
Numbers.
it. That's you too, viewers.
To your west, there is a cave that you remembered passing by. At this point, you can see now there is elements of like a very, very thin skeletal shoulder in like a shirt at the edge of this cave.
Gross.
There's also a lot of like
I want it.
inside the cave,
The shirt.
hanging over. You can see in the mud. There's like kobold tracks actually.
Cute.
Given a natural 20. You would also see further down, maybe another 2,000 feet, like at the very periphery of your vision, where there's fine detail, you can see like a fallen tree and then like elements of your very first battle within the shaded wood. Where you originally climbed a tree right into the tree that the bandit was waiting in, actually.
Like right up into his butt.
Yeah. Beyond that, you don't see any signs of like fresh movement. Nothing that would point in the direction of a missing cart.
And shimmy back down.
See anything good?
I saw some Colbart
Colbart tracks?
I saw
Cold
some Kobe
Bart.
tracks.
Colbart what?
Some Kobe tracks. Over by a cave.
What's a Kobe?
My little baby.
You have a
You
baby?
don't remember my baby Kobe? My little
Oh, the thing I was gonna eat.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. No, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, that got dark.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna ignore that. So, I don't see any of the shit we're looking for though.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
get a little.
probably.
Let's get a little closer, and I'll do another tree.
That's probably like all the way through the woods.
Maybe.
That's a long walk.
So are we not doing this?
I guess we got time. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
So as a note, can we just briefly just intersperse cut
Yeah,
back for
yeah,
a sec?
yeah.
Do you have any idea where they went?
I told you, I'm not his keeper.
Do you think you could help me find where he went? Maybe
Have you guys
your
left?
eyes are quite good.
Have you guys left Tom's Temple yet?
I feel like we would have gone at least out to the street.
That's actually interesting. I feel like something may happen. I feel like we'd be talking about where to find them.
The Harbinger is still finishing up his ritual kind of thing that he's setting up.
Yeah.
Sort of looks up at you.
Uh-huh.
Who is it that you're looking for?
Dwarf. Very old. A few teeth left. His eyes never really meet in the middle. And possibly a black cat. Tabaxi.
Would it be helpful to ascertain the location?
If you could do that, that would save us quite a bit of trouble.
Yes, I could do that. What does he look like? It would be helpful if I knew anything else about what.
I'll re-describe him and his sarong that he usually wears. And
Okay.
Draw a picture.
You spent enough
Tattoo.
time around.
I feel
Enter.
like I could also do a little sketch.
Yeah, make a
possibly,
performance check.
just
That would
to,
definitely be helpful.
Oh yeah, definitely note the tattoos. Holy
Okay.
shit, if those are ever visible. Performance?
Yep.
23.
Yeah, you make a great sketch. You
Just
add
a quick
in
like character.
little bits of the
kinda.
tattoos creeping in, and like the eyes like looking in different directions,
Yeah.
and some of the wrinkles, and
Halfway
Even the
through.
picture looks crusty.
even the picture looks as if like you don't really want to touch it.
Yeah.
Gunter, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's not gonna cut it. Whatever it is,
Good.
It doesn't really matter because that's a 7.
Yeah. So you give him this drawing. He takes it,
He's scrying on me.
sets it down on the ground next to his circle,
Mhm.
and pulls out this book and lays it down. This book, now that you're really looking at it, the fastenings of it are actual silver.
Oh shit.
This book, very valuable,
Yeah.
but he seems to be using it as a focus.
Mhm.
And he lays his hand upon it, and as he seems to kind of gaze, the very little bits of blue in his eyes vanish as his eyes go pure white. Looking at the book now within the religious symbol, that diamond shape, you can see a faint shimmer, and then all of a sudden, from slightly above and behind, you see Gunter and Morwen just walking down a snowy path. You could see
Being from the area, do I recognize the surroundings a
yeah,
little
it's
bit?
south. They're heading in the direction of the Shaded Wood.
Okay.
This would be like maybe like half an hour into their journey outwards.
Right. Okay.
So you would be seeing at this point like a frozen river running along on
Yeah.
the what would be on the east side, and you can see like very very haggard kind of woodlands, really scrub that is in what's transitioning into hills.
Right.
So probably about half an hour out of the Shaded Wood.
Do I sense that I'm being watched?
You do not.
Oh, okay.
I mutter under him, Beth. God damn it. Oh, excuse me. That was bad. Darn. The fates.
I do not care
Okay.
what language you use.
Okay, well then in Infernal, I'm like, God, motherfucker! Anyways, and then, did you see, you see that too?
Yeah.
They're headed south.
South.
They're headed south. Can we go collect them and head north, please? Would you help?
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Okay.
We need to get moving.
I know, I feel I'm of the same mind.
Would it be helpful to transmit a message to this person? His eyes like focus and the book goes back to its mundane nature. Mundane-ish.
Yeah.
For a silver clasped, like beautiful glowing book.
Yeah, mundane as fuck. Yeah, just tell him that Heinrich and Shay were coming to meet up with you so we can head north. I think that's probably good enough, clear enough that Gunter could understand.
Whether he listens is another story.
That's true.
A moment. And he clasps the book to his chest and still making eye contact with you.
Oh, God, it's so great.
And Gunter, in your
creepy.
ear, all of a sudden, like the back of your mind, you hear a voice that you have never heard before. Gunter,
Ah!
Heinrich, and Shay
What was wrong with you?
What?
What's wrong with you?
Someone's here.
coming for you.
What? You hear that?
I didn't say coming for you.
And I go,
Heinrich and Shay are coming for us. They're gonna get us.
why are they gonna get us?
I don't know. Someone's telling me something.
Is this a threat?
I think so.
Please.
Okay, stay right
I think
there.
there's an enemy.
Stay right
Where
there.
you
I go
are.
snuck.
They're telling us to stay where we are. We gotta move.
I go
You
snuck.
see, now as he finishes speaking, all of a sudden, because the first 20-something words do go back to him, you see his head kind of jerk to the side slightly as Gunter's voice floods his mind.
Fuck, this is horrible.
That is
I am so sorry you had to experience any part of him.
very unpleasant.
That's putting it very polite.
I think I'm gonna whip this out and just keep that up.
Okay, so you activate it?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the thing that you say?
I'm gonna like, watch out.
That's canonically not what you have to say to use this.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I
And all of a sudden, in front of
Watch
you,
out!
in front of you,
And yeet.
Gunter yanks out this piece. It's like a piece of ebony wood that has been
Shit, is
carved,
that
and
the-
it twists
from the
around
locker room?
a
Yes.
piece of a tiger's eye.
I'm like,
And
I
as
found
he-
this in that room.
Holds it up and he says, "Look out!" The tiger's eye itself rotates within this
Oh, that's
this
so
wooden
perfect.
cage and seems to almost shift like an actual eye.
I see you.
Within 60 feet, you do not notice any hostile creatures. There's nothing ethereal.
What the?
However, very briefly,
I think it's it tells me when there's stuff close by.
New
What's
dildo?
what's the last
I don't
thing?
know.
no, that's all you see.
Oh, you fucking.
I don't see another thing because you were asking me a question.
No hidden enemies around you.
All right.
Enemy of wand detection, by the way.
Nice.
Or sorry,
Wand of enemy.
detection.
Enemy of wand detection. That's a dangerous foe right
The
there.
goblin. Hey,
He's got a wand over there.
Look out! He's got a wand.
I'm the enemy to everyone.
Wand.
I have no friends.
Gotta watch out.
So you receive this message.
All right.
And we
You gotta
splice
be
that
on
into their
guard.
travel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we splice that into your travel to the forest.
So if you guys want to continue, you can. You can stop and wait, or you could return, whatever you guys want.
I think we gotta keep moving. Some enemies coming.
I don't
with-
want people to come get us.
He
but
did
that's our
say
friends.
Heinrich and Shay.
Yeah, he said Heinrich and Shay are coming to get you.
They're not gonna hurt us.
It was pretty threatening, and I've never heard that voice before.
Hey, that got picked up.
Yeah.
That got picked up.
I don't remember the last
Wand?
thing I ate.
No, is that the wand detection?
No, that was me.
Working. Yeah.
It's my one donut
No,
that
I
I've had
don't,
to
I
eat
don't
all
think
day.
this is necessarily a bad thing.
Gotta eat more.
They're our
We
friends.
got, like,
They're not gonna
snacks
hurt
and
us.
That wasn't
Something.
our friends.
But he said our friends.
Well, maybe he already took them out.
And then he's sending us after you. After
Well,
we're
if they took
already
them out, we gotta go help them.
But I gotta go get this gold.
Our friends are worth more than gold. Maybe
Would
they're
they
in
do
trouble.
the same for you?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
I'm not.
Well, I'm not gonna stand here alone. I'm gonna follow you if you're gonna go.
So you guys continue on your quest. So we're gonna have to figure out at what point you guys meet up, since apparently you're heading south. But
I feel like
it
the
is
only person actively working to keep us apart this time is Matt. I would like to
I've
put
got
that on the table.
deals to make.
I never actively work to keep us apart.
So I'm saying the only person actively doing so.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyhow. It is about 10:30, so it's a perfect time to take a break. We will be back probably about 10:45, so a 15-minute break. Please enjoy our brand new theme music that plays, composed for us by the user 100 Take Wonder
Yeah.
on Reddit. Definitely check their stuff out. They'll work with you. They'll make an awesome theme song for you. They definitely did right by us. We'll be back at 10:45. We'll see you then. to Adventures in Alberon. Thank you guys very much for sticking with us.
I've been sitting here this
Through the
whole
break.
time doing that. I am tired
Can
and
I-
my lungs
Can I
hurt.
do this?
Do it.
I didn't do it in time.
Do what in time?
Do it.
Oh, just do it. That's fine.
Oh, okay. At least I'm sure.
For those of you who don't know, we take a shot at halftime. It's a tradition. Everybody should have traditions. So,
Might explain Morwen's character a little more.
Hiss.
that's some big hiss energy right there. So, coming back, we have Gunter and Morwen making their way in the direction of the Shaded Wood. Heinrich and Shay,
Wand of enemy detection.
with a little bit of help, scrying on the pair of them, discovered their rough whereabouts and where they're headed. You had Euthelius, the Harbinger, dispatched by the Church of Six, send a message to Gunter, who immediately took it as an offensive threat, and whipped out his wand of enemy detection to no avail. But that is bringing us to where we are. So are you guys stopping and waiting, or what's your plan?
I think we should. But I'm not going to stand here alone. If you're going to walk off, I'm going to follow you. Whether you
someone's
like it or not,
following
because
us.
that's what I did in the first place.
Maybe we should hunker down and, try to catch them off guard. They're gonna try and ambush us,
Should we set up some-
Maybe
should we set up some
ambush the
traps?
ambushers.
Who let you know that they were coming?
So do you want to just
As
shimmy
they
up a
do.
tree and wait for him? And drop down and surprise? It's alright. I'm good at climbing. You go first.
Well, how high up is the shortest branch?
The shortest branch, maybe only about like 3 feet up, not terribly high, and then you can climb up to about 14 feet in this tree.
I can probably do that.
Oh, how about this? You get to that branch. Get to that branch.
All right. I'm just gonna guidance myself.
Make an athletics check.
All right.
Why not?
Good. No, not really. Don't hurt yourself.
Oh,
You're
that's,
old.
That's a 6.
Gunter, you kind of get your hands up there and kind of get a leg over, and as you get the leg over, the snow shifts and you kind of slide off and fall down, right into the snow.
It's one of those.
Alright.
It's one of those shots where it's
I'm
like
gonna-
just showing his upper torso,
I'm like
Yeah.
and he's
about to
struggling, and then
make
it
it
cuts
up.
wider, and he's just like a foot off the
Yeah,
ground.
no, barely.
Alright,
The
get-
snow just like
Let me go
Oh,
first.
yeah.
knocks me off.
So I'm gonna climb this tree, and with my cat's claws, I'm gonna try to actually like make
Okay.
things for him to hold on to make
Yeah.
it easier.
Make a dexterity check, just flat dex, for just trying to like carve elements away to make handholds for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love all this detail.
16.
Yeah, you shred parts of the bark away, and using your claws and like the tips of your boots, kind of kicking elements of it away, you make areas that Gunter could use, little handholds and things like that. They're small, built for a dwarf's hands, but yeah, you can without too much trouble make your way up. You didn't have to roll to begin with. You just made the guidance, so I had you roll. It's not like a difficult tree to climb.
Oh, okay.
So Gunter, using these handholds, you get
See
your
about
way
that.
up to the tree. You get a little sap and resin on your hands, but you get up there. More with no trouble. You
Yes.
scamper up to
So
the
I'm
top.
just gonna go up like one branch above him,
Okay.
and because we're not that high up,
No.
so I want him to be like disguised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kind of like shake the branch so snow falls on him, so he's a little bit more disguised.
Okay. Onto this very, very pale-skinned, white-bearded dwarf, you shake some additional snow out.
Yeah.
It settles across the mantle of your cloak and on the armor a little bit.
Brush it off. What are you
No, be disguised. You stick out. I say in black fur.
Yeah. But, you staying still, the snow does fall on you, and your fur staying a little cooler than your skin. It does settle and become kind of like a soft white blanket after a little bit. And so you can
And I-
stay pretty stealthy.
Ta-da. Goes white. Like snow.
Okay. And you watch all of a sudden as Morwen whispers and you see the puff of warm air condense the snow around it. The armor from the little rivets, white, just spirals out and encompasses the entirety of the armor.
That's pretty cool.
And now we wait.
Roll stealth checks, please. At advantage, because you have some time to disguise yourself. All
No,
of
It's
the
the
details.
same.
15 for me.
Mine's a 19. Do you need
Okay.
me to shake more snow?
You feel hidden. The two of you are heading south.
No. We've devised a
I'm
plan.
readying.
Well- Watch them not even come find us. We just sit there and
It
like.
makes more sense
Days
time
go by.
wise.
if we just sit
It's almost
there
here.
The only
waiting, does it
problem
count
is
as a
I'm not-
rest?
If you want to
Gunter's
now sit and wait, you can absolutely take a short rest.
Well, I think if
favorite
we're gonna wait for
Yeah.
them,
person.
But
we should get some rest.
Lauren's there. I don't know.
I think I'm just gonna. You.
It's not, I mean, I guess it's
Watch.
like
I'll just-
what you would make it.
I mean,
like
yeah, I'm fine.
20
I don't.
minutes and then
All right.
necessarily-
versus an
Mark
hour.
off.
And
Just wake me up when they get here.
Sure.
I don't know. Your call.
Okay, you can mark off a short rest.
Would you like me to come along?
So we went all this way just to take a nap at a
Appreciate
tree.
your assistance.
I think that is wise.
I mean, if we're
All right.
gonna
However,
wait
if
for
you would
them.
like
Just a
me to
cold
travel
nap.
faster and then start this process a little bit.
Trying to make it down to the south, quick in and out. And now we're waiting in a tree.
I do have something to do in town but no, we can do it on the way back. It's fine. Okay, sure. If you want to run ahead, I'll meet you guys halfway and turn around with you, or we could just walk and come back. It's only an hour to at least the edge of the forest. Hopefully they weren't foolish enough to go all the way back in.
It's Gunter.
This is true. Travel together, safety in numbers,
Safer
dangerous
that way.
times.
Safer that way.
Okay.
Okay. You guys travel. Takes about half an hour until you come to an
Oh, we're going quickly.
area where, well, no, they only traveled about half an hour until you got your.
Oh, I thought it was
message
an
there.
hour to the woods. Okay.
They had originally, so in the original description, they had gone to the woods, then further in, but then you guys interjected your part.
I
so
see. Okay, so
retconned a little bit.
All right, that's fine. Got it.
They're now only about half an hour outside of town. You come to a portion where you hear in the trees, you don't see right away, this kind of soft, like, and you've heard Gunter sleep before. You hear Gunter snoring somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't see him right away. Shay, you do very quickly kind of spot this gleam of silver first, and then this dark cloak. And you see Gunter collecting snow by himself up in a tree.
Found them.
Can we just pretend like
Okay.
he's laying on his back too, and every time he inhales snowflakes and then blows them back out?
Because, thermodynamics and all that.
Yeah.
He's cold inside, too.
The snow is drawn in, and then the snow, it looks like it's coming out. It's really just the snow falling.
Thaumaturgy to shake the tree. Wake up! We've got to go north!
So, in the tree that you were in, the whole tree just rattles. Snow falling down off of your armor, off of your like fur.
I love this fucking image.
And you
by
can
the
now
way.
see up in
Of
this,
just
this
like the
thing,
two of us waiting there and be like,
the black
hey!
fur
And then
suddenly
just-
like shakes free, and you now see Morrowind kind of crouched in the tree.
Morwen, Gunter, let's go.
Gunter, you wake up for sure with the thaumaturgy.
They're here.
All right, ready to go?
Let's go.
What are you doing?
Are you like
Down.
straddling the branch now, holding an axe?
What are you waiting for? We had to head north. We're heading north. Right? Weren't we heading north? What are you guys doing down here?
I don't know. I'm following Gunter.
Wait,
He thought you guys were coming to attack us. I said no.
No, we sent a message with the oh my god, a harbinger. He said
What's the what?
the harbinger sent a message
What?
to you on our behalf saying wait and we'll come collect you because we're heading north.
Oh yeah, by the way, Gunter. So that snow guy, that
What?
snowy elf dude on the horse.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
about?
Hightaker told me about him.
What? Why didn't you tell me that?
I don't know. You never asked.
All right, I'm gonna
I didn't know that's the voice you heard.
creak my way down the tree.
Okay. It's like your hands slip every now and then. You have to grab them, but using the handles, especially brushing the snow off of them, you get down.
What?
Let's go.
North? We were
North.
we were heading
We're
north.
heading south.
No, we were heading north. The whole
heading
point
north.
of coming back here was to head further north to where Shay is from to learn more about what's going on in the world and why people are at risk and to prevent more unfortunate occurrences
Well,
similar
you know.
to well, no. I don't want to bring that up.
Some of us have other things to do, right, Borwin?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna go.
I always have things to do.
We're getting something for the Red Shields, and we're gonna make some money, and then we'll be on our way. So how about that?
Money won't matter if there's nothing to spend it on or no one to give it to or make it from.
It's not about the money.
That's only what it's about. You just said that. Gunter,
We're heading south.
Is this about Thistle? Oh, Shay.
He left us. We need to remember that.
And we can do that. But doing this?
Matt, are you actually getting a little sad?
theater, everyone.
This level. Gunter. We all miss Thistle. You're not the only one.
I need some spices.
We can get those in town.
Oh yeah, I can go to my buddy Janice. She's got spices. You need spices? I'll get you spices.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. We don't. If it's for Thistle, I'm in.
It's a little bumping.
We gotta do it for Thistle, though.
Whatever you need.
All right.
So your group now, in the falling snow, turns about face and heads back to Port
I
Clement.
do think that eventually that thing is a thing.
That thing is.
I met some Gilda. She seemed nice.
Okay.
But she was trying to... 2 silver a year for goblin hunting. I don't...
Are you sure she didn't
That's what she
mean
said.
2
But
silver
then she's the one who told me about the thing down south.
per ear?
Per year.
Are you sure? Because goblins have very distinct ears, and
Who pays for ears? That's weird.
that's
Yeah.
proof of their killing
I
them.
thought it
Why
was
ears?
like
So
an
you can just bring
hourly
back like
thing.
eyes or skulls or fingers. Think
Fingers.
about fingers. Yeah,
Maybe if we go back and talk to her, we could change the terms. But either way, 2 silver a year. No one in their right mind would offer that.
That's what I was saying.
Neither here nor there. Could we at least start making our way back? We'll get you your spice.
Yeah, okay. The red shields can wait. I really just... I want to go.
Okay, agreed.
Okay.
You
It's
all
cold out
make
here.
your way
I'm
back to
tired.
town.
Well, this was fun.
and you walk back over. You retread some of the tracks that you left. At about noon, you guys walk into town, having spent roughly half the day.
we actually really did just go into the woods to take a nap in a tree
Yep.
and leave.
What'd you get by following?
I didn't hate it. Moira
that's-
doesn't have shit to do.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
fine.
That's true.
Around noon,
Yes.
you return to town.
Noon it is. To the market.
I
mean,
changed.
and you do walk
sorry.
into the market district.
Yeah.
So
Right. The
Before I
southeast
do though,
entrance.
before I'm in public,
Yeah.
I just to don myself to normal attire.
back to normal attire. The
I
white
don't want the
fades
public
off.
to know.
Sure.
I'm all.
Except for the few that
I
you've
can
already...
whip out beetles.
I'm sure there's guards, telling stories.
Of what? No guards have seen me.
I thought the guards...
Change my shit.
Who was the beetle? That was just to you
That was
guys.
Tinsbury and
Yeah.
a
Shaw
very
Day.
upset Shaw Day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I did their faces and everything.
Right.
Yeah. It was a thing.
Yep.
So, you guys
Private
make your way back
thing.
into town. You are in the marketplace. It is getting a little bit busier now because it is noon. What are you guys looking to do?
I want a really cool book strap. A secure book strap to have the book handy.
Okay, looking for a book strap.
I'm gonna go to Janice's.
A
Go to the
secure one
spice
with a
market.
fast release.
I'm going to get some special herbs and spice.
Going to the spice market with Morwen.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Gunter. Make sure
Okay.
he doesn't
Three of
disappear
you
again.
head to the spice market. You are going to head off, knowing where you go without too much trouble. You could find
Somewhere
that kind of
within
thing
the market, right?
within the Port Quinn General.
Okay.
Very simple kind of leather device that you can then, with a little bit of tinkering, refit to make it do what you want to do.
Right.
It's going to run you about a silver piece. Not terribly expensive. You're getting like leather straps. It's really easy to
Yeah.
buy. So you
I
can
wanna
mark
make it-
you can mark that off, and you can
Make
mark
a
it
little
as
nice. A little nicer.
sure 2 silver pieces, and you can get sort of like a much finer worked leather that does come with a little bit more of like a tooling if you would like.
Sure.
But yeah, about 2 silver, and you can add that to your inventory.
Okay. I'm just making sure I don't need any more components for any muscles.
Yeah, take a look. Let me know.
Pretty sure I don't. All of them
Before
are
we
one,
go
I gotta
in-
focus.
So, Gunter, this is kind of my friend. So, will you give me a list of what you need and let me do the talking? I might
Wait
be
a
able to
second.
do some
And as you
haggling.
get to the outside of the shop,
Oh
the
no.
last time you were here, you were chased out by Janice after attempting to steal things.
Maybe you should stay out here and I'll get it for you.
Give her a list, Gunter, and we'll go.
You know I'm not going to screw you over, okay?
And as you
Alright,
stand
well-
outside the spice market, the door opens, and a voice calls out, Gunter. And it is, as you turn, Ariadne.
Oh shit! Plot twist!
Wearing simpler clothes than what you remember her wearing. Not quite as revealing, more winter attire.
She have a glass of wine in her hand.
She does not.
Okay.
She has a whole bottle.
She has two bottles of wine in a little hat.
Nice. Straws and everything.
No, but she, point of fact, she does not have the druidic headgear that you last remember her wearing. A little bit more simple attire, but she stands up there. And Morwen? And kind of over all of you behind. And the mean girl. What are you doing back in Port Quinn?
Well, we stopped off because we
I wanted to check out my store.
did some stuff. Unleashed some dragons. We
No. We wanted to check out the store.
yeah.
Let me do the talking.
I was coming to get some herbs, right?
Okay.
Herbs.
Herbs.
I can help with that. Please come in.
Wait,
And she,
is Janice around?
and as she's walking by, she says, "Oh no, it's her day off today."
Oh, good.
Oh,
All right,
I wanted Janice.
let's go case the joint.
And Ariadne walks back behind the counter and gestures with her hands and calls out. There's like 3 or 4 other people in here over all like the wooden stalls with these canvas bags that have different spices. You can now see there's a lot of plant growth in here, and it's more humid in here than you remember. But there are vines with flowers hanging off of them. A lot of nature-like work has been done since Ariadne has apparently begun working here.
So that's where she's been. Word.
Like what you've done with the place.
Thank you. It's actually Melora has done quite a bit of it. She has shown me a wonderful way to conduct different things within the natural world.
Oh, well, that sounds really nice. I'm gonna start reaching for some herbs.
Gunter, you do know that you need to pay for that.
So do you have any health potions?
Health potions, yes.
I do.
I'm gonna pull out the list and
She's going to take it,
Listed.
very mindfully avoiding the metal on your kind of glove. She pulls this away.
You have metal on your glove?
Well, any kind of like rings or anything like that,
Are
she
you
would be
wearing the cock?
avoiding.
Oh no, you gave away the cock rings.
I use those to trade for something.
Anyways,
my cock rings and my zebra wood dildo.
yes.
The beginning
So
of this is
we can do this.
Flashbacks.
I did enjoy the time that I spent with you.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bit of a discount.
Hey, discounts are always good, right?
Just don't tell Janice. She doesn't like you very much. She still talks about you, actually.
Oh yeah, she's not very nice.
Maybe just say you gave it to me. It
Yeah.
might go a little better.
Yes.
Her and I had a good conversation.
tell her that
Speaking of
I
which-
did something nice for you.
didn't steal.
Speaking of which, your store has done quite well.
Yay! So I heard.
Yes.
Moved to Nocturne?
Yes, that is what I heard. Very interesting things that came up in that store.
Do tell.
Well, after you left, there was some very interesting items that passed through there, including something that I found very interesting myself. I wonder, are you... She sort of looks around. Have you ever heard of a smuggler?
What? No. You're crazy. What do you mean?
Well, I think that somebody in your store may have been breaking the law.
I'm giggling.
What?
And here
They're
in,
like cooking halflings.
in cities, you're not supposed to break the law, apparently. So I've
It's
been
a bird.
I've been learning a lot. It's been quite nice. Gunter,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Some
okay.
people have allergies to some of the plants.
I think it's this one over here.
It might.
Oh,
And you
this,
see-
this bullshit over here.
It is this sort of indicate this very mundane-looking shrub. Yes, well, your spices, if you would like. And she pulls out. It's a couple of different little bags, jars, and some ceramic containers that have been wax sealed shut. But it is about 2,000 gold pieces worth of fine spices, oils, and various accoutrements like that.
2,000. That's a specific number.
Yes, it is. You handed a list.
We could have had that. No, I'm just kidding.
For you. 1,750 of the gold pieces. It's a very good deal.
I bought a bar for less.
How about those health potions?
Yes, if you would like the health potions, they are they're useful. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing outside of the ordinary, especially. But for you, 350 gold pieces each.
I think I'll just take my chances and die.
Well, you've lived.
But I do appreciate it. At least I know where to come when I need one.
Absolutely. And if I'm not here, of course, Janice is very fond of you.
Something about this
Wait,
seems
so
like
wait, can
abnormally
you
steep.
actually
Holy
wait?
shit.
Can you tell me what these health potions specifically would be? Like, I don't. Yeah. Like
Close
how
out.
effective?
A very small health potion. It looks like it has about 2d4 worth of liquid in it,
Plus
shimmering
two.
in red.
Plus two.
Plus, perhaps like little bits floating on the top, kind of hard to tell.
I think I might have to take my chances.
Well, I'm sure you'll do just fine.
But I don't mean any disrespect. It's just I can't afford that at the moment. But thank you.
Not many are as fortunate as I am.
Fortunate enough to
Yeah.
give us these for free.
No.
I'm gonna fight the urge to just grab them and run.
Okay.
God.
I'm gonna see that and give you some side eye. Please don't.
How much for this? And I'm gonna hold out the wand.
Oh. And she takes it and looks at it a little bit. Make a persuasion.
Why are you getting rid of the wand?
Because I want these spices. Ooh, that's a 24.
Actually, while we're doing that, no, you do that first. But I want. No, can I help? Is this the time that I can try to help?
Would have been before he rolled, but yes. So, roll at advantage as Mormon is helping you.
We also
Still
know this
24.
person.
24. I don't really know what this does. Does it do something?
Yeah, if you got someone that you don't want to see trying to see you,
Okay.
it'll let you know if they're within 60 feet of you.
She holds it and just kind of looks at you.
It's
And
decent for a shopkeep, actually.
it doesn't seem to work.
Oh, you gotta look at it for a while.
Attune to it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I bought from your store, actually, I needed to attune to.
Yeah.
So it's a learning experience. All right. I could maybe give you 300 gold for this. I don't really know what it does. And
I
it's
just
not-
told you.
Yes, but it isn't especially. I'm not in the line of work that you're in anymore.
Yeah, no, you put it out. You say, hey, watch it, and it watches your store for you. There you go. It's security.
Can I, because I haven't seen Ariadne in a long time,
Sure.
I don't know if there's like a role that I can do or something to remember something that she really likes and might be willing to trade more for?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Which I have a lot of. Intelligence? Okay. Am I smart? 15?
You would remember that Ariadne, at one point emptying the tomb of a very well-regarded prophetess of all of its wine. And you remember, actually, pretty much everywhere that she went, the wine just disappeared. You would also remember she does not like metal. So something metal, probably not. In fact, probably if you could offer something other than gold, she would be very likely to trade for it.
Okay.
You also remember she's not especially world-wise and could probably pretty easily be tricked about the value of certain
In terms
things.
of civilizations, at least, right?
That's what I'm thinking. I have 4 bottles of fine elvish wine. I would be willing to give 2, or I'm gonna show her one and be like, remember this? When's the last time you seen this aged shit?
The Lacera Reserve. I remember we actually obtained that in the graveyard
Bet you're running out.
a long time ago. Another 120 gold for the bottles. I can do that.
Bottles or the bottle?
For all of the bottles.
I'm not telling her I have 4.
Okay. 30 gold for one of those bottles, if you wouldn't mind parting with it.
How about this ring? The gold garnet.
Oh God!
I
Just said no man.
I'm okay with that. Thank you, though. Enter.
I got some of these funky mushrooms from before. You want some of those?
Just gonna take a look at those.
5 funky mushrooms.
Oh, where did you obtain these? And she-
Ah!
No touchy.
They're very valuable.
Not especially, but I have uses for them. I could give you a gold piece for each.
I mean,
Feel free to keep them.
Ooh. What
You
about?
don't know what to do with them.
I know if you eat them, they taste kind of weird.
Please do. That would be very funny. You would poop in your pants.
Would she know
That
what
would be
bunta
fine.
is?
Are you gonna ask her?
You,
No.
oh my
All
God!
right.
I whip out 1 glass of bunta. I'm like, how about this?
Is it sand?
You don't know what that is?
Sand?
It's
No.
basically magic in a bottle. I'm surprised you don't know what this is.
Make a deception check.
Is it literally a bottle of sand?
Make a deception or a persuasion check. Depending on what you do, it'll do things.
I mean, they're the same, but I'm not very deceptive. I'll do persuasion.
Okay.
Farts. 12.
I've never heard of magic in a bottle, and it's intriguing, but it worries me a little bit.
That's how Gunter got most of his magic. It's through one of these.
Is that true?
That's true. I drink one of those every couple of years.
Make a deception check.
Oh, come on. Don't fuck this up.
I mean, she's not
Guess what happened?
terribly wise.
That's
Yeah,
a
but guess what happened?
12.
Oh,
Okay.
Actually,
Well, you are very old.
I'm very old, but I'm very strong still. You don't get to be 287 years old without drinking one of these
Well,
every couple of years.
I'm only 84, and we can live for a very long time, I've been told.
I'm sure you could live longer if you started incorporating these into your diet.
I'll give you another... I honestly don't know what that's worth.
That would be generally
Oh,
in
wait.
such a fine quality as that.
Let's see. I bought it
I would say.
I bought it for 400 pieces. I'll give it to you for 300.
Oh,
Is that?
Janice would be very upset. That's a lot of money.
That's
But
for
magic
a
in a
wonderful
bottle.
product.
And you have lived to be very old.
I
although
have
you
lived
are
to be very old.
ugly. Is that a side effect of this?
No, that's just genetic.
Well, as long as I don't
Genetic
end
to
up
be
looking
old.
like Gunter, then I could give you 200 gold for that. Along with 30 gold for your bottle of wine, along with 300 gold for your wand, would be, you're looking at 1,000 gold will give you for the spices and the trade.
Wait, another 1,000 gold?
So you'd be trading the things that you guys have listed,
Yeah.
the wand, one bottle of wine, and that vial of bunta, which you guys...
The yellow berry.
She'll know what that is.
That would be a very fun time, but I am not interested, and I can grow them myself. I'm actually working on one at the moment.
Okay.
And then she's not into drugs.
This is the thing that killed that one.
Well, that wouldn't kill somebody.
Oh, but it did.
That's probably unrelated, I would imagine.
Seemed pretty related. Yeah, tiefling ate one of these things.
Oh,
Boom,
maybe a
dead.
tiefling, I guess. I don't really know much about them,
Yeah,
except for...
pretty powerful stuff here.
So wait, you
Henderson?
were saying with all of our stuff combined, how much would it cost?
an
in addition to-
an additional 1,000 gold.
Still.
Again, math very new to me,
We'll
but...
do half. Okay, we'll do half. Deal?
So you only want 1,000 gold worth of spices.
Yeah, we'll just do the one.
So
There's
five,
also, is this, I'm not paying for you.
well, if you're only getting 1,000 gold pieces worth of these various spices, then a straight trade, your bottle of wine, your magic in the bottle, and your wand for spices. I mean, I already said I would do it, so...
Okay.
Wonderful. I will wrap this up a little bit nicer for you to take in the
Excellent.
Actually, I can do even better than that. Are you going to be in town for a few days? Or...
I don't think so. We're probably hopping ship after this. Like,
in what direction?
do I turn up where we're going? We're probably going south.
Well, I imagine you'll have clear skies on your way.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah. Hey, be careful. It's supposed to be getting pretty rough
Dragon-y.
around here. Dragons are popping up nowadays.
Well,
That'll be really interesting.
I might not be much of an
Forecast.
adventurer anymore like you guys, but I still know a little bit.
Oh, that's good. You're gonna need it.
And you exit the door.
Right before we exit, I say, make sure to eat first before you take that.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye. And she just waves
Bye.
to you. You guys exit, having now given Ariadne 1,000 gold pieces.
It's so
Or
wrong.
not 1,000 gold pieces, a very large
A
dose
veritable
of
sum.
magic molly, essentially. So that's going to be real interesting to come back to.
You know, I will say if Ariane was really here, I think she'd be down with the trade.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
100%, yeah.
I don't think this is a bad thing, necessarily.
For those of you who don't know, we did originally have two other players who didn't make it to the stream, one of which was Ariadne Druid, who is now a shopkeeper, it seems. I will say worth noting, as you guys did exit, on her left finger there is a wooden ring. You guys emerge back out into the snow. Meanwhile, you have found your holster.
Drugs
Cool.
for more than twice as much as I
Side
You
note,
yes.
you will have cold weather clothing, yes?
Oh,
I mean, I have fur.
How cold are we talking?
Colder than this.
should we
And you
get
can
some
you can
furs and stuff?
you can return at this point, having your
Like,
your
oh, I was
book
just at a
thing.
really good spot for this.
Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
We do a pretty moment.
Poor General
pretty
does
woman
have
moment.
have a like cold weather gear.
I feel like I would inquire, be like, oh, we're heading to cold territory.
Sure.
Let's.
For each of you who would like to purchase cold weather gear, I'm not going to make you roleplay the whole thing. It's going to be 5 pieces of silver. Very simple
Oh
garment.
shit! Yeah.
They're very modest looking garments. It is just big elements of fur that have been kind of pulled together. Not even really. It's more of like a very, very warm, oversized poncho with very voluminous sort of armholes and things like that.
Are they all ethically sourced? I do not want to
Are you-
wear a hunted animal
They are
of myself.
they're
They're definitely
certainly
hunted.
No, okay, fine. But like, was the whole animal product used?
Sorry, interjecting. How much silver?
5 silver pieces each. They would tell you that
That's a
very
steal for a life.
confused is this
Is there a vegan option?
roll persuasion check.
I'm not gonna wear my own peeps.
Pete.
24.
Okay. So
Wait, if we're heading to cold weather, I'm gonna get a scarf.
Blanket
Port
scarf.
General.
This fucking beautiful thing.
This woman, middle-aged human, a little bit confused by your requests, but yeah, I think. What do you mean ethically sourced?
I mean, just was the whole animal used, and like, did it suffer?
Well, when it killed it, probably yeah.
It suffered. Well, that's not nice. You guys got to be better hunters.
Life is suffering. Just
Well,
buy
I-
the jacket.
I mean, I did
just-
already.
I just
Okay,
work
let's go.
here. I don't really buy or do the hunting.
Throw the silver coins at him.
Oh, they spray across the counter. Okay,
Have a nice day.
well,
I'm back. I'm heading back to the...
Dude.
What?
you exit with your
What's
cold
wrong
weather
with-
gear.
What's wrong with it?
All of you now can mark down, mark off 5
canon
silver.
for high
Center,
notes.
fair.
So
I just
can
want to
I,
get
with this kind
wet.
of thing, can
Yeah.
I be still wearing my leather armor
Yep.
underneath it?
Yes, you
So
can.
that still
He's got a
counts.
hat
Okay.
that matches
So I'm just
the-
wearing like basically a big ass coat.
I was gonna say.
I'm wearing a fur.
Yeah, it's like
umbrella
furs
building.
that wrap over and then go over your actual leather armor. It's like a great coat almost in terms of size.
Okay.
However, you guys now outfitted for cold.
Indeed.
I specifically choose one that's all black.
There isn't anything that's all black. So interesting point of
Damn
note.
it!
Most of these are furs that are sourced with things that you can find around Port Quinn. A lot of
Also,
rabbit.
black dye is expensive.
Black dye is really expensive.
We're wearing rabbit.
Yeah,
Oh shit. Oh shit.
a lot of bugs.
I wasn't here for that.
Sorry, bud.
I was getting
Anyhow.
this wonderful woolen scarf.
And book
Just
holster.
And
Don't let him
holster.
know.
You guys are outfitted for cold weather gear. What would you like to do? It's about
I lean over to
1
Shay, I'm like-
p.m.
Good looks. Thanks. I forgot and died pretty
Oh
quick.
wait, no, I buy
You're not gonna freeze. That's
shit,
what
but
matters.
our crew doesn't have fucking winter shit. Right?
You don't know.
All right.
I will say
How
you
many-
would know as a pirate.
Hold on.
Typically, you're kind of expected to travel with the stuff that you need, and so they should have their own stuff.
Hold on. I
They
have
should have
I
their
have
own
an-
stuff.
I have an idea.
I'm gonna buy.
I was reading something in this book that I
Mark those off.
was reading something. I just want to try it. And how far is it? Hold on. Never mind. It's too far. Forget it.
Okay. So about
I
1
don't say
p.m.
anything.
Snow is lightening up a little bit, but the clouds are still in the sky. Although, as the day progresses a little bit, you notice to the south, the clouds begin to shift and clear a path. What do you guys like to
God
do?
damn it! Thanks, Ariadne, but shit, we went the wrong way. Or rather, she helped us in the wrong
Whatever,
direction.
she's gonna trip balls soon, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That was a nice
that
You begin to
shit's
see
gonna,
spirals in the
that
cloud.
shit's gonna go haywire. We're not
Yeah.
gonna rely on that. Maybe it's better that way that we're not
All
going.
right. Well, I'm ready to go now. I got my stuff.
Wait, are we still in the shop?
You guys are in the
Back.
market district. You guys
I
are
threw
outside
the
of the shop.
silver at the shopkeeper.
Did I see you buy more outfits?
I don't know. Did-
Probably,
Did
yeah.
I?
You would have seen it, yeah.
Can I guess how many he bought?
Sure.
Is it-
You can guess about 3.
Then I buy 5 more.
Okay. Mark off 2 gold pieces. You get a couple more sets of cold weather gear. So between you, all of you, purchase 13 sets of cold weather gear.
How many people are on the fucking ship?
Doesn't matter. I'm a
16
better
or so.
captain. I bought more.
Anyhow, You guys make your way back to the ship, unless there's anything further you would like to do within the
No.
confines of Port Quinn.
No.
No, we should leave.
This
We'll leave.
place is.
We need to leave before
Yeah,
Ariane
look over at
trips
Herbert,
balls.
like, lovely.
Why not?
Lovely this time of year.
You said 2 silver per year. Why not at least
2 silver per year, I said.
Do you even listen?
Jeez. Some
Ugh.
people.
There's money to be made, but hey, let's
Well,
save
that's
the
what we were
world.
trying to do, and you guys interrupted us.
Let's save the world instead. That seems
Jesus
better.
Christ. Pick a
2,000
side,
down
bruh.
south.
All right.
So where are you guys heading?
To the ship.
To the boat.
Okay. So you guys get to the ship.
People.
Not too much trouble. You make your way there. There are members of the crew kind of just idling around on board. You can see Tinsbury has been trying to put together a snowman. This is not terribly sticky snow, and so it's not really coming together, but you can see most of the deck has been cleared. People have been active in your absence. You would also notice that there is a new sail. Just canvas, plain.
Cool. Didn't we already do that?
You did.
They just did it again.
Maybe.
Cool.
Fresh sail.
Next is the whole appearance of the boat.
What are you guys doing?
Captain.
All aboard.
I'm making this happen.
Okay. So as you guys get aboard, you begin to make your preparations. You would again be reminded, given normal conditions, it's going to be about 3 days to get to Gulliver's Bay, which is the closest that you could get in your ship, probably, to the monastery, essentially. At this point, I would say probably Sade would show you a map. So, oh wait, I do have a different system. Just to give you an idea as to where you're going, it is actually the map that Tinsbury was helping with. And it is now, you can see the elements that she's kind of gone over and fixed, but it is a map of the region to the north of Port Quinn, along with some of the lands around that region. A little bit more heavily filled out along the coast than anywhere else.
So we are.
In Port Quinn, very bottom of the map on the coast. Yeah, so you guys would be all the way down there. You guys would need to head up towards Gulliver's Bay, which is like right. Oh man, it's even off the map there. So Gulliver's Bay would be right below where the map is, and that is maybe 3 days from Port Quinn. Past Gulliver's Bay, the ocean becomes incredibly icy. And that is the area that you would know is called, and actually probably both of you would know is called the Suffocating Straits. Mm-hmm. It's this area that just rapidly grows ice to the point where it's hard to traverse.
The suffocating stuff.
Surf, or straits, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, surf.
Iron
Suff.
sights.
Suffocating
They're
surf.
the-
You look ridiculous. You look like you're gonna commentary like a football game right now.
Hi.
Right?
Lenny Kravitz here.
It's a great day for football, John.
But doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the headphones that they wear.
That's what I'm saying though. I'm not wrong.
I should get that.
That's why we're all chuckling.
So is there any? So it's going to be 3-day travel. Anything that you guys wish to do on that journey?
Gonna
I'm
read
going
up all
to
the-
show Sade
Oh,
a new coat.
Okay.
just her.
Well, I mean, I'm with her alone, I think. Or I'll give it to her alone. I'm not trying to showboat.
I already have a jacket, but I do appreciate this. It is nice.
I can give Tinsbury one.
Okay. Tinsbury, as soon as you hand it to him, oh, Morrowind, thanks, it's great. And he like immediately kind of like shrugs it on. Takes him a little while. He's never worn something like this. Where you're from, never gets this cold. So it takes him a little bit, but he ends up like 2 arms out of one hole, and then eventually like finally gets it right. But it's really warm.
I'm going to, I guess, in general, throughout the travel, I'm going to see if anyone is not equipped and clothe them up
Okay.
to 5 people, or 4 people now.
Okay, so you end up finding about 3 people need additional
So I
clothing.
have one
Most people
extra.
have stuff
Okay.
with them. Abernathy does not. Kanor does not. But you equip them. Anybody else doing things over these 3 days?
Reading more. Just trying to figure all that shit out.
Okay.
I'm just doing
after the first day,
My morning ritual.
you guys would notice that for the first day, Gunter spends the entirety of the day with different herbs and oils and anointing the ship, essentially.
Plants. Thistle plants.
So you can cover the entire ship. And as you complete the ritual, right around the very late parts of the second night, there is this loud crash and roll of thunder across the ocean. And you can see clouds shift almost as the breeze changes. And you feel this power channeled through you and into the ship itself. The ship is now considered hallowed.
Nice.
So celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead cannot enter the area, nor can such creatures charm, frighten, or possess creatures within it.
Right.
Second, you can bind. What's your second effect that you are binding to the ship?
I think any enemies of the Finger Gang are frightened.
Okay.
Upon entering
Oh
the ship.
shit! So everyone.
Everyone.
Any
Yeah.
enemy of any non-finger gang or presumably your crew
Yeah.
will be frightened of the finger gang.
That's great if we need to like rescue people or are bringing new people on board. It's gonna be great.
Well,
But
they're
also,
not
like, could
enemies
you-
of the Finger Gang.
That's true. We would have.
Yeah.
Can you actually? Point of fact.
You can distinguish.
But like, can you future like refine it? Be like, oh, this new person wouldn't be affected by it. I don't know. Sure.
I will say, as part of this, there is, in the conclusion of the spell,
Yeah, what's
a
the catch?
brief shoot sound from beneath the ground, or beneath the decks.
Dex. Ooh.
And after taking stock over the next day or so, one of I'll mark off which, but one of the half orcs is missing.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. He was an enemy.
He was a fucking spy. We had a spy on
Maybe
Someone was in cahoot. Oh no, I left the delve.
he left.
Yeah, he wasn't waiting for you.
Well, he was.
Well, he was. That's true.
One of the.
But I didn't look for
Am
him.
I doing anything over the course of this journey?
Wait, my two orcs. You mean
Yeah.
my?
You don't have the list.
I do have the list. It's just all the way back here.
He's been keeping a list.
Okay.
I think other than just keeping a very watchful eye, no, I'm not on this journey.
Make a perception check.
Could I point out that without being able to sleep too, I would probably like come out at night and just keep an eye since I wouldn't be able to do anything else.
Make a perception check.
28.
I don't think I had any orcs.
13.
You did from the main manifest that
Oh, they weren't mine.
yes, they
Yeah.
weren't yours.
13.
Yet.
At night, coming out, it's snowing off and on for much of this trip.
Mm-hmm.
There is a brief period of time on the second night where you would notice very distantly, actually probably like end of the first night, very distantly in the direction of Port Quinn, another ship, large, heading in from the sea into port. Not much else.
Okay.
With the 28, there is a point, this one, in like the end of the second day before it gets dark out, you see this kind of weird swirl within the clouds, and you track this and you notice a bird, but it moves weirdly.
This again.
And
Kill it.
you see this sort of, maybe like a raven, and then it's gone.
Wait, also, we're on the ocean.
Do I notice that?
Oh yeah, you are in there.
I just realized
Fair
the
enough.
cows
Thank
and
you,
stuff
thank
and
you.
goats.
Let's get some appropriate music going on here. So, you would see that
How big?
like a raven size. You guys progress through the water, and it gets colder as you head up to the north. But
It's
eventually,
cold.
it is very cold. But eventually, as you guys pull into the beginnings of your third day, after a real good survival check from Sade,
Yeah.
you can see smoke rising, and you can see the beginnings of a shoreline, and elements of what is probably Gulliver's Bay. Probably another hour in, Is there anything you guys want to do before you pull into this town?
Oh,
Briefly,
I've fully rested by now.
Yes. So if
Oh,
so
yeah.
you guys definitely long rest, mark off any
Everything,
spells,
everything.
whatever. You guys should be refreshed.
could I have been also like pointing at or making a point to attempt some sort of not trivial, beginning attempts at like prayer-ish kind of thing? Just trying to like
What does that look like?
setting the candle on the nightstand and just kind of spending time staring into the flame,
Okay.
like as unblinking as I can. Just looking for anything, trying to feel anything, trying to just be open,
Okay.
vigilant, if you will.
You maintain that vigilance, and it is very comforting for you to do. You don't notice or learn anything new per se.
That's fine. Just want to make it a point that that's becoming like a habit now.
Okay. Yeah. Well noted.
If there's nothing else, if I don't say it in the 8 hours of non-sleep that constitutes my new long rests, it would be that I would at least be trying to open channels and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you spend sort of the quieter downtime hours reflecting and praying and trying to find a way to bridge this connection
Right.
in a way that maybe you weren't able to with Azra.
Sure. I'd also be like subtly, not cursing myself, but wishing that I had listened a little more to like the excited ramblings of Erdos when I was younger about how his, you know, what he learned in the church and all that kind of stuff.
Make an intelligence check as you reflect on that.
I ain't smart. That's a 3.
I ain't smart. I would say
I'm all feeling, man.
I don't know good.
there was the
Sam.
thing that does come to mind is your brother spoke a lot. I mean, growing up in Port Quinn and not having a super easy upbringing as tieflings,
Right.
spoke a lot about the idea. The thing that really attracted him to Helm was this idea that somebody would watch out for his people.
Mm-hmm.
That there was somebody who could watch out for people who couldn't do it for themselves.
Right.
And something about that was, to your brother, really important.
I'm starting to come around to that same kind of thing. I feel.
Sure. But outside of that, not a lot really comes to you in this time period.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys would come into dock in Gulliver's Bay. Gulliver's Bay, as you approach, it is a very small town. It is also the first town that you guys have been to so far outside of the Kingdom of Sarental. Gulliver's Bay very pointedly calls itself the Free Town of Gulliver's Bay. They have a very strenuous relationship with the kingdom. They did belong to Sarental at one point. They seceded after they were not kept safe from creatures within the frost line, this area of where even in the summer it becomes kind of permafrost to the north. And so they seceded and have very carefully guarded themselves from becoming a part of any nation. They do have support from a garrison of soldiers from Stoneflow that don't operate within Gulliver's Bay, but like just outside of it, and they
Can like come to aid if need be.
yes. And there are political reasons that they're there, for sure. It keeps
These are-
Sarentil from
These
advancing
are
further.
dwarves, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it also is a very, very helpful place for them to trade through. And as you guys get even closer, you notice that there is a very, very odd design to Gulliver's Bay. The south of it, huge, almost factory-like building. Wood and tin. There are like weird fireplaces and chimneys that jut out at all angles, small tin fireplaces that spout out smoke, and larger brick ones that billow it into the air. Very small, ramshackle, actually reminiscent of the docks in terms of the way that the houses around it are built. There are 2 bridges that then go into a much nicer part of town. The town itself actually paved, large buildings rising up out of this with sufficient space between them to allow for not just alleyways, but entire avenues of travel between each store. That seems to be where you would kind of pull into the docks and then travel through. Getting to the docks, it's very quiet. There isn't a marketplace. There isn't a bustle like there is in Port Quinn. But fairly quickly, there is a kind of haggard-looking, gaunt, older guy who approaches. He's wearing like piecemeal bits of leather armor, No real identifying badge, but you get the sense that he is what passes for a town guard here. What are you folks doing in here? This is the free town of Gulliver's Bay. I don't see any flags or any kind of iconography amongst you guys from any nations. So and he pulls out this flask and begins unscrewing it. It takes a long pull. Welcome, I guess.
Thank you.
What are you in for? You here for the merchants? You here for the lore binders?
Shopping.
Shopping.
Merchants.
Wow, merchants. Okay, so you're here to sell.
Oh, we're merchants?
That's what he was asking.
I'm asking.
Oh, I thought he was asking what he was here for.
We're the
What
finger
we were here
gang.
for. No.
What? What the?
All right, so you're the finger gang. What?
We're traveling through. Ship
What?
can't make it much farther than
Traveling performers.
Okay, so you'll need some long-term docking.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to find
this.
out.
Yes. Please defer to the captain for payment.
It's the captain.
She, thank you very much, is the captain.
All right. It's gonna be a gold piece for a week if you want that. How long are you guys looking to stay? I'm not really sure how to look at here. This is weird.
She is.
I'm right here. It's a little rude.
Talk.
You're being very rude, kid. We're
Well,
paying 5 silver a week for 3 weeks, and I throw 2 gold.
Great mess.
he takes the gold and initially is like, you can't.
That's 2 weeks.
I'm going to walk over.
How long would it take?
We'll be here for a while, and I will pass in 5 gold.
Oh, you have gold?
He'll take the gold
shit.
from you.
I'm gonna be like, oh,
You-
You threw it already. We're up on the
So he
boat.
has
Give it
7
back.
gold. in
You
his
long
pocket.
arm down.
hey, give it back.
And I'm going
It's
to.
appreciated. Do you want some? Kind of offers you a flask.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't. That's
Takes
what
it
you get
back.
for being rude.
Just wipes it off on his jacket.
I'm gonna
I
take
lean
it
in.
after him.
By the
You
way,
are not. He's gonna
I
hold it.
spat. Oh,
You what?
when I swug it, I spat back into it.
Okay.
Make a
Swag.
performance check.
I was gonna.
Swag.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Swug.
I was just
Love
gonna like gargle his
Damn it.
wine in my mouth
Sleight of
and then
hand.
spit it back in.
I mean, it's a 12.
You needed more than a 10.
I rolled a 3 and it's still a 12.
The rest
so
of you,
sick.
with your passive perceptions,
Sure.
watch as
It's actually just above
There
mine.
is this kind. Oh, so you don't see it. The other, you do. You have like a 15. Don't you? The two of you notice that there's this moment where Morwen kind of, you see like a little bit of a change, and then you hear the faintest sound of liquid going back into the metal, and then you hand it back.
Secret ingredient. My
Just
specialty.
Kind of wipes off the top of it. And,
I go over to
Rescrews
more
it.
and I'm like, good wine.
Meh.
you'll be all set for a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Welcome to Gulliver's Bay. Try not to get into trouble.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah.
clear of the merchants because they really, for whatever it's worth, kind of run the town. And I would pass through pretty quick if I were any of you.
Well,
Fine,
with
any
advice
choice.
like that about merchants being dangerous, we will be in and out as fast as possible. And I look over at Gunter.
They're just not accountable to anyone, so
Right.
be careful.
Well, this isn't our destination, so as long as you keep our ship safe.
I'm not doing that.
Well, who's going to keep our ship safe?
It's not my problem, but we'll keep it in your dock.
How many? I guess
Group huddle.
We'll leave everyone behind, I suppose. No one else needs to come with. It's just the 4 of us is fine, I
Pretty
guess.
good, because, you know,
Group huddle.
we're good.
So, can we group huddle?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm coming.
Damn
Up.
it.
he's walking away already. I mean, he doesn't give a shit.
I don't care. I still want a group huddle.
I'll come in. I'll join your group huddle.
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm already over there because I was like, good wine.
Shay?
True.
Wah.
This is taking too long.
Well,
We're-
my question's for you. How long we're gonna take? Like, I don't know. Like, should we just release half this
She
group?
gave-
Do we expect
She
to
gave
come
him
back?
5 gold, so I think we're staying for 5 weeks.
Understood, but I mean, those whole 5 weeks we have to pay the crew too. If they were just gonna hang out.
It depends on how quickly we move, which
And how
given
many
our current
survive.
pace is not very fast.
So, do we? I mean, my question is, do we expect to come back to this boat?
I would hope so.
With a full crew and everyone?
I'm planning on it.
From here, there are many things that can go wrong.
Everywhere there can be things that go wrong.
I think the easiest thing is
Then-
just to assume our return, and we've paid for
Well, I
5
think-
weeks. We're fine, and the crew is paid for how
We
much?
need
How
more
long?
info. You're always talking about we need more info.
I didn't
We'll get it.
anticipate.
Info.
I
Gunter-
didn't anticipate
Gunter
paying
will
the
get it eventually.
entire crew another 5 weeks, though. Do we
How
even know
much
how
have
much
you-
that's gonna be?
How much have you paid them for already?
I don't even know. How much did I even pay these bitches already?
So far,
I
amongst
haven't been
all
charged
of you,
once for these people.
you have.
Oh, that's true. I have, but
All of you, in terms of the amount that you have paid going into Port Quinn, have them paid up for about 2 months.
Okay, we're good.
You guys have vastly overpaid them repeatedly. Yeah.
We're good then. We're
Yeah.
set.
You,
all right.
gave
So we
them,
actually have
like,
like a happy
A
crew.
bunch of gold.
Like no one's
Make-
really
Yeah.
complaining.
No, we gotta.
Absolutely.
your
I mean,
decisions
All right.
on
All right.
who's coming,
Then fuck
who's
it.
going,
I just want to
who's
make sure
staying.
everyone's happy.
I
The
will
four
meet
of
you
us.
at the edge of town.
The 4 of us, and we'll
In
go
an
now. No, we'll go now. We don't need to wait. We're not staying
I
here.
think
Well,
I
we
would
might as well
like
see if
some
anyone else wants to
answers.
come.
Why are we rushing? And not just, oh, because there's dangers afoot. Yes, okay. Why?
There is a war coming.
Okay, there's a war.
There are people who, despite all of the other dangers in this area, are looking to cause.
We talking like dragons? What are we talking about here? Because we saw the dragons.
As Gunter continues, just for like a sec, I like instinctively reach to cover his mouth, and I accidentally cast Mage Hand for the first time and cover his mouth with Mage
So
Hand.
all of a sudden, in the middle of this, as like Heinrich's hand reaches out, from the reddish kind of clay color of his skin, there is this sudden, this ghostly spectral hand that reaches out and just clasps. It's cold and
Just kind of like,
and not quite there, and it just covers your mouth.
Of those of us
Oh!
Hunter, who have actually met them,
wait, did you
I
guys
would
just
be
see
more
It's still there. I mean, you
inclined
cast it, so it's
to move quickly.
Well, I guess I'll just hold on to it.
Can
then.
I like smush it? I'm trying to get it off my mouth.
Well, I feel okay. Just to break this, I'd be like, I feel like
Start looking.
I feel like I would pull back and like unsummon it.
it's
Be
like,
it's
a
like an
slinky hand that almost
Yeah.
just disappears
It's-
over your hand.
Oh, I didn't know I could do. I'm sorry.
Tasted like socks.
Didn't know I could do that.
Socks.
So the ether tastes like socks. Note that down.
It's canon.
Socks.
They're
There's gonna
all
be a
the
moment
socks that
in,
got
like-
lost in the laundry. Oh my
There's gonna
god, that's
be
beautiful.
A moment in like 6 months where you guys are going to be in like a dark place and be like, it smells like socks.
Well, let's remember that.
Anyways,
But back to your explanations. I was just trying to silence him, but also like,
Of those of us who
Shoehorn
have
in my
actually
shit.
met them, Gunter, I would feel that you would be a little more inclined to get rid of them.
The dragons?
No.
The what?
The
The Cortega?
no, the shadow people, the other people that she was talking about.
Oh, your friend. You
'Cause
want
I
to get
was
rid of
there
your friends?
when you were having this conversation. That's when Heinrich
And I'm walking off ship.
ditched us.
Oh.
and you watch as Shay just takes off.
I like try to catch up.
Oh
Probably
well, now
unsuccessful.
now you're paying
Right.
attention. That's cool.
Well, yeah.
Get hit in
Why
the
didn't
face
you
and
just
he
say
cares.
it was about a friend?
They're not
Friends
her
a
friends.
strong. Friends a strong word.
Apparently, they're
So
not
you-
her friends.
Which you say as you go and catch up with Shay.
Oh, I'm decidedly
Enemies.
moving faster.
Oh, you're keeping away from him?
Keeping away from
Okay.
I mean, I'm not
Well,
gonna
Shay,
try.
why didn't you just say you had enemies? Thaumaturgy.
I'm not gonna try.
Not
to
even you can outrun the Gunter's thaumaturgy.
God, ignoring it.
But yeah, you make your way out to the edge of town.
All right, let's go.
What are
We
you guys doing?
catch up with
I'm
Shay.
just saying to Shade how much we paid for. You're the captain of the ship while I'm gone.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I know you know. But just in case you didn't, you know. I know. You know.
This is a very
Bye.
productive conversation. We'll be here when you return.
Wait, could we have brought food?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you.
I think we all have personal
do have
That's
rations
true. All the
anyway.
rations
You guys-
and
you
shit,
guys are
yeah.
all set.
Hardtack and lava spread and all
I
that.
mean, I've been
hoarding rations in general, so.
So you walk through what is known as, and you can see there is a line or a large wooden sign, partially obscured by snow, but it's fallen away a little bit. And you can see it does say the Pearl Spun Path, and this
Cute.
begins this very very fine looking road that winds northwestish and then out of town. You would pass a stone tower that is a single single room, and you can see within the turrets it's just one large massive room that goes up, but outside of it is written House of Our Lady Priests. Past that you would go by what appears to be a large ale house called the Sly Flourish. From within you can actually smell very distinct to you like a sour ale that comes out, similar to Sunrest actually.
Triggered by sunrest.
You would also pass. That's about it. Goldberg's Bay is pretty small.
Cool.
But you make your way through all these. You'd actually pass by one other store, actually. There's a blacksmith shop.
Okay.
Oh,
And
blacksmith shop.
this
I wanna go.
particular shop
Check that out.
is called Algis and Algisa. Written in common. It has been stamped into a metal sign that hangs off of a wooden post. The snow is accumulated on the post, but strangely does not seem to coat the metal, as if it stays warm. Within there is like the light of a forge, probably emerging out. It's only about 1 p.m., so it's still fairly light.
All right. Well, I want
If
to
you
go
need
check
a
that out.
translation, I can give
I'm
you.
gonna
Sure,
go
I got you.
check that out.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm down.
You're gonna. Okay.
What are we? Because I know we gotta stick together. We gotta hurry because we're doing Shay's thing.
It's kind of all of our thing if it
Haste
threatens the
is-
world.
Well, yeah, but haste makes waste and all of that. So, what time are we meeting back up? Huh? Friends?
France.
How about no more than an hour edge of town?
No more than an hour edge of town. Same place, so be back at the ship. We're shipping off?
No, edge of town continuing the way that Shay went. I'm gonna go catch up with her.
Alright. Shay, we'll catch up with you in a minute!
You don't see Shay, but you call in the direction you remember her walking.
Yeah.
It echoes through, and like the one or two people out in the street do turn and look at you before continuing on their way.
Alright. Alright, I just want quick in and out. I want to check out the...
You make
the
sure
shop.
it's quick,
Come on, let's go.
please. Thank you.
Come on, let's go!
Okay.
I'm
bye.
gonna like start pulling
So you pull Morwen into the very warm,
Very,
shop,
like,
much warmer than the
kind of
actual air outside, and you head off towards Shay?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys enter this blacksmith shop. There's the clang of hammers falling. Let me pull up something
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Dang, dang, dang.
I don't know.
Nice.
So
Dang, dang.
it's not a terribly large town, and so it's easy enough to actually still hear the ocean from this place. It is situated up a little bit, so you can kind of hear it. It'd be a little quieter than this. I'm not going to change it around too much. You, it's fairly small, maybe 40 feet along the longest wall, and it's shaped almost like an M. So the doorway comes out a little bit, and there's two sides. On one side, you can see that there are various bits of armor hung up on hooks on walls. There are helmets that go on a shelf all the way around the ceiling. The ceiling itself, you notice, actually has a little bit of a skylight built into it, although currently covered with snow. Entering in, you can see there is, at the forge, somebody a little smaller than you imagine, maybe a halfling, fairly broad shoulders. The hair is long, but currently braided and back to stay out of the fire. And she's working on something very, very fine, but looks up through this like big metal mask. And from the inside comes a surprisingly small voice. Hello.
Hey!
The mask comes up, and you see this very sooty, happy, missing a tooth grin of like a girl, maybe human, 16 maybe at most, but she's like pretty big boned. Can I help you?
Yeah, we're checking out the shop, just seeing. I want to like look
Starts
See
like
what
removing
the-
these huge gloves.
I'm looking for some nice replacement axe or for the razor's chain.
Make a perception check.
I will also look for a rapier.
I need new.
Perception check.
21.
21.
And I also want to see if there's any
Passive 14.
Okay.
good armor.
You notice you don't see a ton. You see armor, you see some little shiny bits, and then there's on the right side of the shop there are some weapons, but they're hung off of like a wall, and they in the breeze of the door that you guys still have not shut. They
I shut it.
Okay, you shut it. They do clang together, and you get distracted by the noise. Now, you looking around,
As I would.
you notice very, very interestingly, most of the arms here are fairly standard quality. There's a few that stand out tremendously. There is like actual embellishments made into the metal. You can see like scroll work going along the edge of the blade. There's a few pieces in here that are of very fine quality.
I'm thinking that there's probably another craftsman who's also working, making some of it and some.
Maybe.
It's very dangerous.
You know what? I'm actually
No,
I'm just
said
gonna
it might
ask
be her who's making the good
Gunter
stuff.
if he sees any legitimate rapiers, because I know that he knows this stuff better than I do.
There's some nice stuff over here.
And as
But
he directs your
rapiers?
gaze, you
Oh,
do
okay.
see there are two rapiers. One of them fairly normal looking, if a little different than you're used to, just in terms of the style here. But one of them next to it, beautiful work. The blade itself, fairly normal, with the exception of the fact that there is like a negative space along the middle of it. And looking very closely, it isn't actually negative space to weaken the blade. There are still very, very fine elements of metal that string it together, such that you can actually like look through it. It's almost like a mesh. That spreads into very intricate lines that go down the blade and then around the handle, which wraps and like spreads from the blade into the guard itself. That would encompass your hand.
How much is that one?
She turns and then just turns back to you, beaming. And she's taller than you, even. Probably like she's like 5'7", 5'8". But she comes over. I made that one myself.
Ah,
That's
you've got a
beautiful.
fine craft.
Thanks.
Who made all this other stuff?
Oh, that's my dad.
Oh.
But I'm Issa. And you want the rapier.
I'm interested.
Well, I'm an apprentice. I'm still learning from my dad. But probably, let's see. Actually, their economy is not terrible. For 8 silver pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give it
Lisa?
a? Can I hold it?
Yeah, and she pulls it off of the wall, and just places it down on the counter. Please.
Do you have like a dummy in here I could test on?
No, we're blacksmiths.
Aside from the one I brought.
You can see she's about to go over and be like, "Don't worry," but then he looks around and goes, "What?" And she goes, "Ah."
All right, I'm gonna Harry Potter like magic wand it, like
Okay.
hold it, and like give it a little like.
Swish
Yeah.
and flick.
It
How does
makes
it feel?
beautiful little noises, and it feels beautifully balanced. And in your hand, this is a weapon that is like beautifully crafted, not magical or doesn't confer any special bonuses necessarily, but it is a very fine quality rapier,
Finer quality than my own.
about the same.
About the same.
Yeah, it's much nicer looking.
If the quality isn't much better, if it's just looks, I have to stick with my original plus. Well, thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Got
She
any
takes
nice
it.
shields or anything?
Nope, not at the
'Cause it's
moment,
first
but
class, then
we could
buds.
make them.
What? Rapier's pus.
I can't
That's
really
was a gift, so I'm not
stay.
giving that up.
Well, it would take a little bit. A shield, very simple, but probably about 5-6 days I could have it done.
Getting all the way back.
Not long, but
I'm out of here.
I'll come back on the way back later today, and I'll let you know if I want that.
Okay, please do.
What about the nice axes anywhere?
No axes. The implements here all tend to be metal. And so you're not seeing axes, you're not seeing pole arms, you're seeing swords, you're seeing a couple daggers.
No armor.
There's armor, there's metal armor, chainmail.
Actually, how much are daggers?
So the daggers themselves, there's nothing that seems to be especially fine quality. But for a normal dagger, like 5 copper pieces. They're real easy to get.
All right.
Just get a bandolier and
Yeah. How many are there?
Daggers?
Yeah.
Like
6.
6?
What, 5 you said? And there's 6 there?
There's.
Okay, I'll take all of them.
Sure. That's 3 pieces of silver total. But he wraps them up in the little canvas cloth and kind of like almost like a knife roll, and then hands them to you. Anything else?
That's your very lovely craft. I'd be surprised if you weren't the master shortly.
Thanks, but I don't think my dad would like that very much. He's a little
Well, I'm
sensitive
sure
about it
that your
already.
customers would, because this stuff is crap. This stuff, though, good.
It's not
All right.
crap.
It's not great.
It's
Nothing
not crap.
special.
It's not crap. It's wonderful.
Nothing special, comparatively crap.
When we come
Nice
back,
talk. We'll be back.
You know, I'm eyeballing that rapier. I'm not saying save it for me, but
Probably want the shield, but we'll see.
Not a lot
Gotta
of
check with
people
mommy.
have been coming through lately, so it will probably still be here.
sick. I'm gonna leave.
You leave. Thank you.
I just imagine Lauren
Walk
going
out as you walk into
and
the
turn
set.
around and walk out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and you're going as well. You make your way to the edge of town. It's cold. Not terribly uncomfortable for you.
It's like home,
Yeah.
but like summertime.
And you almost, with a passive perception of 19, don't hear the crunching of snow.
Interesting.
But you're aware of the fact that there is another presence with you. And as you turn and look, you see a very familiar figure, wearing black and purple and silver. But because it's almost midnight,
Oh no!
and because I'm making a concerted effort to make this a little bit shorter, this is where we're going to end for the evening.
Oh, excitement!
Yeah, so great. Yeah, you guys did a whole bunch of stuff tonight.
Purple and black.
Thank you guys very much for joining along in the adventures of Alberon. Thank you to everybody who stayed tuned for the duration of our show. We know that we do run very late. Definitely thank you for all the follows and the subscriptions, especially subscriptions and sharing the bits and everything. Super, super helpful. It's a very expensive operation to run. So I appreciate all that. If you would like to help out Adventures in Alberon and cannot contribute financially, tell your friends. Just say, hey, check out this cool show. It's full of great people. But I don't know, what are we doing next week? I know it's the 27th. It's going to be after Christmas.
As far as I know, it's
I'm free.
Yeah.
Cool. Adventures in Alberon, episode 21. Will be next week, the 27th.
20?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we didn't
That's
even fight anything.
that's why you got this
That's
cool
quality
time.
D&D is when it's no
Shopping
combat.
episodes,
Yeah.
Well, we almost did, but you guys interrupted it.
We were gonna attack you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So, we'll be back next week with Adventures in Alberon, episode 21. We'll see you then.